At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Really love this brand because first off, the products are quality. I have amazing hydration. You guys can see the shine. You guys can see the definition.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope your Tuesday is going well. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for the support. Do me a favor. Hit that like button. Please hit the like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Again, I will greatly appreciate it. And don't be afraid to hit that super chat. And then, hold on, I got a crumb right here. I was eating chips. I was snacking on some chips before I came on. Don't be afraid to hit that like button and that Cash App button and share to your friends, share to your family. Go Dogs, by the way. I think we started spring ball. I believe we started spring ball, and listen, we are going to win the Natty. We didn't win the Natty last year. We got upset by Alabama, a team we should have beaten, but I don't know what happened that day. Well, actually, I know what happened. We got pushed around. I was watching some highlights over the weekend of that game, and in the trenches, our boys, we were just getting pushed around. It was embarrassing, like literally pushed around by Bammer. So, but looking forward to this new year, the Bulldogs, we are going to win it all this year. Again, we are going to win it all. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Before we get started, a couple of announcements. We are rolling to Nigeria. I got 3 spots left. So the Senegal tour is full. All right, the Senegal tour is full. Y'all, we full. We full. Shout out and a big thank you to everybody who's joining us in Senegal. But we don't have any more room. Listen, if I could take more people, I would, but I can't. So the Senegal tour is full, but we got the Oshun Festival coming up, August 4th to the 13th, Oshun Festival in Nigeria. So we got 3 spots left. We have 3 spots left. Hold on, let me check something real quick. So if you want to roll to Nigeria with us for the Oshun Festival, come and join us, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me just check this real quick. If you want to roll to the Oshun Festival with us, hit me up. Come hit me up. Visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo, DANFO .africa to learn more. Again, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Again, we have 3 spots left. Someone's asking, what are some of the things your customers liked about Senegal? Senegal has the best food in Africa. And if you're into fashion and art, they excel at that too. They're the best in Africa when it comes to that as well. That's what people love about Senegal. But really the food, the vibe, I'm a Nigeria guy. I love Nigeria. I love Senegal. My big three are Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and Senegal. It's just something about I'm just pulled to Nigeria. But Senegal has the best food. And if you're into art, they have the best art that's accessible. If you if you're a collector like me, if you're a collector like me, hold on, let me blow this up. If you like to collect art, if you like to collect antiques and artifacts, Senegal, the best. Now I've been here in Mali, and I need to go back. Put that back. I need to go back and visit Mali soon. Probably won't be able to visit Mali until it's probably going to be next year. But I heard Mali has some good hidden gems where you can collect and buy masks and antiques like the ones I have. So I need to check out Mali. My Dogon mask I got from Mali when I went to Dogon country, but I haven't been in Dogon country. Last time I was there, I think it was 2016 or 2017. I think 2016 was the last time I was in Dogon country. Yeah, it was 2016. So I have to get back. My guide in Dogon country, he told me that, tourists are coming, but it's still, a little sketchy. So hopefully either maybe in August, but if not August, for sure next May when I take another group to this. So every year we're going to go to the jazz festival. Okay. Every May we're going to go to the jazz festival. So if you're interested, just hit me up. We're going again next May. So if you're ready to make plans, for vacation for next year, we're going back to the jazz festival in May. If you want to roll, let me know. This is going to be May of 2025. May of 2024, we're booked. So yeah, let me go back to this. So yeah, so Oshun Festival, August 4th to the 13th, Nigeria. We have 3 spots remaining. And Zanzibar. So guys, we're going to go to Zanzibar. I'm going to keep it Zanzibar. So we're rolling to Zanzibar for Safari Blue. We had a great time in Zanzibar last year. In fact, this is one of the photos I took. Guys, sorry about the background noise. I don't know what they're doing outside. They're doing the power company is doing something with the line. So if there's some I don't know what they got going on out there. So please excuse the noise. So again, we're rolling to Zanzibar. September 22nd through October 1st. September 22nd through October 1st. We are rolling to Zanzibar. So if you want to roll for Safari Blue, hit me up. I'm going to take 9 people. So if you're interested in joining us in Zanzibar, please visit Danfo.Africa. Again, please visit Danfo, DANFO.Africa to learn more. Without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. Fair use. ABL. Anthony Brian Logan. Fair use, okay? This is just commentary. This is commentary, but this is very interesting. It's just the mindset. So what happened? There was a lady that was, I forgot the name of the podcasters, but I'm gonna pull this video up here in a second. So a popular group of podcasters or a podcast, they were doing like a live event in Chicago. So a lady gets up, sister, and she's complaining about the immigration problem. Again, she's complaining about the immigration problem. And they asked her, who did you vote for? and she gets to splaining, and I don't know. It's just when it comes, I don't know what it is when black folks who vote for the Democratic Party, when it comes to, the splaining and, oh, it's Congress's fault and this, that, and the other, and the president has no power. Well, the president doesn't have any power, like, then why do you get so emotionally attached or upset when there's other black people who don't vote Democrat if the president allegedly doesn't have any power? But let me play this clip.
The Honda you want is here. Get a great offer on the stylish Civic or HRV.
Once again,
running in Lululemon feels familiar, comfortable, supportive, and free.
On my best run, it doesn't even feel like I'm moving, and you feel like you could go for days.
They killed my dog.
More commercials. Thank you, ABL. Thank you.
Get a new partner.
First of all,
Who did you vote for?
First of all, I have no problem with saying that I did vote for Biden because I was not voting. Okay. I did.
Okay,
but here it is.
Hold on.
Wait, okay,
that was a question.
Okay.
Now you answered it, right?
Okay.
This migrant influx that we're dealing with right now, this is your fault.
Thank you. This is what I've been saying. This is what I've been saying. This is what you voted for. And if you just listen to the splaining, well, no, it's not our fault. It's Congress's fault. No, Joe Biden told you what his top two priorities were: immigration and the alphabet community. And this is what black folks went out and voted for. Now you want to play stupid. This is what you voted for. So what are you complaining about? Let's continue.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a Chicago man destroying a young lady in the crowd of their podcast. We're going to get to in a minute about the migrant crisis. You see, she was expressing her grievance about what's happening with the migrant crisis, as many of us are. We're saying, hey, we're being flooded with these people. We can't take them. They cost an estimated $450 billion with a B dollars since.
And I've told you guys where I stand. I support these migrants being bused to predominantly black communities. You know why? Because this is what you guys voted for. The lady in this video, in this clip, this is what she voted for. Hold the L. Don't play dumb now. But listen to her try to explain. Listen to her get to explaining why she voted for Biden. And try to deflect on how this migrant issue, like she didn't vote for this migrant issue. It's Congress's fault. No, you voted for it. Let's continue.
Summertime 2022, as far as law enforcement and asylum claims and this and that and food and everything else, $450 billion US dollars they've cost us. And they've cost us a lot as far as safety and everything else in our communities. They're being put in community centers and schools, and they're displacing us, replacing us all over the place. And it doesn't really matter if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, or candy stripe. However, the black community in Chicago, New York, etc., we are feeling it extremely hard. And the lady in the audience was expressing their grievance, and the man asked her, hey, who did you vote for? Like, can we get down to brass tacks and figure that part out? And she went ahead and revealed that information. Now, there's a lot more to that clip. And before I go any further, let's go ahead and get into it. Shout out to these guys. This is the TOTB podcast, Thinking
to
Outside the
TOTB.
Box. I will place their link in this full video in the box. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
So with the migrant situation, that is on Congress. They don't release money, so then
How's it on Congress? Oh my goodness. Just listening to Black people who voted for the stuff how they explain and deflect. Like you're the reason, like you're part of the problem, but you want to explain and deflect to Congress. Just listen to Black folks explain. It's hilarious on why they voted for Sleepy Joe. Now it's Congress.
that doesn't protect the border. So that's the first thing. We are a sanctuary city. We started being
So the question, but see, this is the question you should have asked. Were you having this problem under Trump? Were you having this issue under Trump? Just hold the L. Just be accountable. Listen, we made the wrong decision. This is what we voted for. And I'm going to not vote for this guy again. Sleepy Joe.
in a sanctuary city back in 1980, which of course should have been changed a long time ago. So
now remember, we're talking about Chicago here.
They bringing them in. You wonder where the money coming from? They taking it. The COVID fund that was here, that money. You talking about all the pro housing programs. So when people pay rents, all the rental programs, that money, all the programs that we have in the city of Chicago, they are bankrupting us.
Good. This is what Black folks voted for. Hold on, guys. Look up. Let's look up how the percentage. Let's see, a percentage of votes. Chicago for Biden. Hold on, here we go. Here's how every Chicago ward voted for Biden. Hold on, here we go. In 2020, here we go. Hold on. In fact, no. Let's do this. Percentage of Black votes. Percentage of Black votes, Chicago for Biden. Here we go. I want you guys to read this. Hold on. I want you guys to read this. Here we go. I'm going to share this. Let me get to the brass tacks part of it. I just had it in the description. Let me go back up. Oh, let me find them. Here we go. During the last presidential election, AP Vocals found Trump just won 8% of Black voters versus 91% who voted for Biden. That's overall, but I want to find specifically in Chicago. But we all know. So Joe Biden got over 90% of the Black vote in Chicago. Again, Joe Biden got over 90% of the Black vote in Chicago. And now listen to Black folks in Chicago complain about immigration, then explain why it's happening. Let's continue.
They are taking from all of these programs that we have, and they're taking the money and they're funding the migrants.
Good. I'm all for it. I completely support it. Because you support it. It's what you voted for.
Our taxpayers, we've already paid $32 million out of our taxes.
I gotta go grab my violin.
And take
$32 million. 32.
Let me go grab my violin. Tell me what I don't already know. But again, this is what you voted for. Now you want to explain and act like you're not accountable and not hold yourself accountable. and you want to deflect to Congress.
2 million. Imagine that. That is an astronomical number for the migrants in one city of Chicago, Illinois, and probably a very short period of time as well.
Care of the migrants thus far. Now, we already know the only ones who qualify to become citizens in asylum here from the starts of if they were here after August, they don't even qualify. But here we're going to be taking care of them for 5 to 7 years while there's paperwork floating on people's desk.
Good.
And why? Send them home. Send them back. But Venezuela already said, oh, we're not taking them back.
Hold on. Now, when Donald Trump was talking about sending them back and building a wall, y'all was complaining. He's a racist. He's that. He's the other. But now it's a problem. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. You sound like Donald Trump. You sound like Donald Trump. When he was saying it, it was a racist. He was a bigot. But now when you say it, all of a sudden you're offering a solution. Donald Trump was saying the same thing. When he was saying it, it was a problem. He's a white supremacist racist. Now that you're saying it, all of a sudden the light bulb just went on, and just the light bulb just clicked on, and now you're offering a solution.
So now, I got a question for you. Who did you vote for?
Uh-oh.
First of all,
Now we got to answer the question. Let's get down to it. Let's get down to brass tacks. Who did you vote for? We can talk about all this stuff, but who did you vote for? Okay.
Wait, I have no problem with.
Now it's time for accountability.
Saying that I did vote for Biden because I was not voting. Okay. I did. Okay, but here it is.
Hold on. That was a question. Okay. Now you answered it, right? Okay. This migrant influx that we're dealing with right now, this is your fault.
Okay, well, let me say, hold on. First of all,
that's nothing but the facts. Nothing but the facts. Now I want to see what her response to his factual statement is. I want to see the response.
It is, first of all, let me say this. It is not my fault. It is Congress' fault who does not release the money.
Okay, let me just go to this whole thing about money. She was talking about that a lot, talking about, oh, well, Congress got to release money and we're going bankrupt and money. It doesn't really take that much money because, again, we've spent $450 billion on these migrants since summertime 2022. So we're talking about money. We got plenty of money. Money ain't the problem. The problem is that the border is intentionally being left open by the guy that you voted for. Because before he came into office, Joe Biden, there was no migrant crisis. Did we have illegal aliens? Yes. Did we have border hoppers, asylum seekers, all that? Yes.
And that's the question that needs to be asked. Were you having these issues when Donald Trump was in office? The answer is no. So how is it Congress's fault?
Did we have cartel? Yes, but nowhere near this current crisis level. We had an all-time low of border crossing right before your guy got in office. When he gets in there, he signs executive orders undoing a lot of what Trump had already done to secure the border. This is being done intentionally. Money is not even a thing. You don't understand what's going on. You don't understand that your guy that you voted for intentionally left the border open to flood your city, Chicago, Illinois, with all these illegal aliens, asylum seekers, migrants, whatever you want to call them. That's the truth.
That has no, first of all, with any government official, when anybody know how the government run, your president can only do so much. He does.
Oh man, here we go. Oh my Jesus. Oh gosh. Here we go with explaining. Here we go with the excuses and explaining. Oh my goodness. All right, let's continue. See, this is why I support Governor Abbott in busing all these illegal immigrants to cities like Chicago. This right here. He's doing God's work. Here we go. just the conspiracy theory explaining. So it's Congress and Biden ain't got no power.
Not really.
The president did quite a bit because, again, before your guy came in, there was a migrant crisis. So what changed between Trump and Biden? It was just a regime change. That's all. And then with the new regime, with the new administration, came an open border. That's the reality of the situation. You got to accept it. You keep talking about money. That's not even the point. We can print and spend whatever we want in this country. And we found that out during C-19 and before, but different story. Money is inconsequential here.
Release money. So let's get that far. When you know how the government run, your president don't release no money, not Trump or nobody else. That goes
Were
through
you having
Congress.
this issue
if Congress
under
don't
Trump?
release no fund, nothing gets done.
But you were still kind of part of the problem.
Because he fought to put them people.
And so was Trump, because Trump said Mexico was going to build that wall. What Mexico tell Trump? We're not building absolutely nothing. And guess what got done? Absolutely nothing. And guess how they getting over here? Crawling over mountains, just walking in with their backpacks through Mexico and everywhere else. And guess what we can do? Nothing, because there is no border patrol. Because they are not allowing paying any money for border officials. And that is the problem. I'm going independent.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
That's a cop out. That's a cop out because you know getting well that no third party is going to win
because they are not allowing paying any money for border officials. And that is the problem. I'm going independent.
So how is voting independent going to solve the immigration issue? Again, how is voting? So you're complaining about the immigration problem in Chicago, and your solution is to vote independent. Not vote for the guy that says, listen, we sending them back home. Your solution is to vote independent. Make it make sense. I don't. The mindset makes absolutely no sense. You're complaining about the immigration problem in Chicago, and your response is to vote independent. That's your solution. Congress, Biden ain't got no power because it's Congress, and you're going to vote independent. Can somebody make this make sense for me? Let's continue. Shout out to Low Value Man, Dusty and Broke. Thank you for the $4.99 holla. Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. Put me onto your channel, man. First time catching you live. Much love. Thank you. Just loud and wrong. And see, that's the problem with our community. It's like the person who's the loudest in the Black community. The person who's the loudest, for some reason, is the most credible. You could be the loudest and wrongest, but as long as you loud in the Black community, you are credible. As long as you loud and you got a bunch of emotion and saying stuff like Congress and the president ain't got no power. As long as you loud and say conviction, you are credible. But then she says her solution is she's going to vote independent. How's that going to alleviate the problem?
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay,
That's a cop out. That's a cop out because you know getting well that no third party is going to win a presidential election. You just copping out at that point. You know, you had no problem voting for Joe Biden. No, what he was all about, hey, if you don't know whether you're for me or for Trump, then you ain't Black. You said that on the Breakfast Club. Did you hear that before you voted for him and still voted for him? But anyway, you had no problem voting for Joe Biden, but you don't want to go the other way and vote for the guy who had the border actually secure for you.
Wrap it up.
Okay, so that's that. That's the clip right there. Again, this is the TOTB podcast, Thinking Outside the Box. I will link to it in the box below. IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But as I close, I want to say this. At a certain point, we got to have some accountability in the community. We got to have it because we can't just say, oh, well, yes, I voted for this guy. And yes, things got bad at the border after he came into office. Yes, he signed this order, that order, that order. Yes, he campaigned on being the anti-Trump, and Trump was the guy who had the border under control. There was no crisis. You can't vote that way. And then when you get what you voted for, say, oh, it's not my fault. Blame them, pointing the finger other directions. My man said it. It's your fault. You voted for Biden. You contributed to this. It's your fault. Simple as that. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on this particular podcast? Do you think
Lumumba speaks? Go ahead.
Well, first and foremost, peace, brother. How you doing?
Good, man. How's your shoulder healing up? Because I don't want no excuses when we have this bench contest. I don't want no excuses. I want you to be 125%.
Well, first and foremost, I'm not worried about that because I know you easy work. Well, listen, how about once you get to 200 pounds, I'll take you serious. Okay.
It don't matter. I could be 185. I could be 175. That don't matter.
You want to put that in writing?
Well, listen, it's on camera.
Okay.
It's on camera.
So you're going to weigh in at 185 is what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it don't matter what I weigh in at. I'm still going to beat you in the bench contest. I want you to make sure. I want to make sure your shoulders healed up because I don't want no excuse.
Make sure your son is there.
Make sure you get all that. Make sure you get all that scar tissue. All whatever you got to do because I don't hear no excuses.
Right. So number 2, go OHIO.
You see this right here? You see this right here?
Yeah, I do.
You see this right here?
Unfortunately, I do. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I do. But I think there's some things to unpack here when we talk about the immigration issue in Chicago. Number one, I think there's something that you brushed over. Chicago, for whatever the reason, has been a sanctuary city since 1980. So this is not something new.
She brought it up.
And this is something you could fact check. So Chicago was a sanctuary city under what? Both Reagan administrations and the first Bush administration. That's 12 years of Republican presidential leadership. Chicago was still a sanctuary city. So this isn't something that's new.
If I can interject though,
please.
When it comes to the cities, is it up to Republican leadership if they could designate a city? A sanctuary city or not?
The president has no power over that.
So that's my point.
So I know, but so why would you then say, well, this wasn't happening under Trump if the president has no
not
power?
Not at this level. It wasn't happening under Trump. We all know that. It wasn't.
So hold on. So I'm gonna say this. The other issue you talked about, Trump and the borders. According to the New York Times, and there's only 2 world-class newspapers in America, 2 newspapers of course, of ilk, the New York Times and the Washington Post. According to both of these newspapers, the Obama administrations, first and second, were in the Obama's administrations, they deported more illegal immigrants than any administration in U.S. history.
Okay.
So this whole concept and idea that only Republicans were deporting. Matter of fact, the Obama administration was what? Separating children from their families, putting children in jails. They were doing the same thing. The only issue was they didn't make it an issue until Trump got into office, but the Obama administration was doing the same thing.
Right. I agree.
So that's why I'm like, typically the American policy is going to remain the same, irrespective of which political party is running.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you the difference. Biden said himself when he was running for office that his top 2 priorities were immigration in the alphabet community. He said that. I don't remember Obama saying that.
Well, I do know that Obama in 2012 to win the election, he lit the White House up in the color of the rainbow flag. So that became a priority for the second administration. I do know.
Well, as far as the immigration part,
right? But I can't speak to that. But I do know that his administration, both of his administrations, deported more people than any administration in U.S. history. That is a fact.
Right, but at the same time, he didn't say that. So Biden came out and said that immigration and the alphabet committee were his top 2 priorities.
Right.
I don't remember Obama saying that immigration.
Right, neither do I. But the only issue is, and I want to get back to this because the devil's in the details, like a boxing contract when you go in to fight, right? Like the devil's gonna be the details when I cook you in that bench press. We should make it 315 because I know you can't hit that. But anyway, but the issue is, once again, there are a number of sanctuary cities. Even when Trump was in office, San Francisco, for example, the mayor, even when Trump was in office, said we're going to make San Francisco a sanctuary city. So like I said, the president has no control over a municipality now saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. So I think you're conflating here.
No. I agree with that. But again, when Biden says that one of his top two priorities is immigration, and the borders being unchecked under Biden, and black folks went and voted for the guy.
Right. But here's the thing: the borders aren't being unchecked. You still have Border Patrol agents paroling the border right now as we speak. So that's just not something that's factual. We don't have open borders right now. Now, a lot of liberals advocate for open borders, but
borders are definitely. I mean, they're there, but they're turning a blind eye. Like, I got the video.
Okay, so you're going to need to be able to substantiate that claim.
Hold on.
You're going to have.
Hold on. Let me. I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
And I'm not even someone I want to find this video. I've never voted. I
want to find this video of just folks just crossing through and border police just chilling.
In fact, I even wrote an article that talks about that America has a history of using illegal immigrant labor, right, to meet labor shortages since World War II. And this is under every presidential administration.
I understand that, but again, we're black. I do not remember black folks in Chicago complaining about immigration on this level under anybody else when there was a president that they voted for who said that immigration was going to be his top two priority.
Are you going to let? Can you allow me to share the screen?
Go ahead, Simple.
So yeah, give me one second, because I wrote an article here, right, in which Trump himself uses immigrant labor in many of his.
No, you're not Lumumba. See, you're conflating issues now. Again, a president.
I understand that, but if he has all I'm saying is this: if we're going to be consistent, if he has an issue with immigrants taking jobs away from Americans, then why is he hiring immigrants to work illegally in his companies? That's all I'm saying.
That don't even make sense, man. I don't. You know what? The thing about it, both of y'all brothers are smart. You know, but it shocks me when smart brothers, you know, have an agenda when they say they don't have agenda, and then you just pushing the goalpost to find anything.
No, I'm not.
Hold on, brother. Nobody interrupted you. Nobody interrupted you when you was talking. No, listen, bro. Nobody interrupted you when you was talking. I don't understand how you get that sassy to the point that, you know what I'm saying, you can't respect somebody else when they was talking. I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? You already talk sassy, and then you start interrupting. You know what I'm saying, making yourself look even more sassy. So I'm just gonna say what I want to say, and if you want to be like a female and try to talk over me, you can do that. But this is the issue at hand. This is the issue at hand. At the end of the day, there was less traffic coming in the United States under President Trump. It don't matter when Obama was in office. It don't matter if he deported more Mexicans, immigrants, or whatever you want to call them. The problem is Trump would have outdid them, but they were stopping them. You get what I'm saying? They was blocking them and they were suing them. So when Obama was in office, they was doing it under the radar, and Republicans didn't have a problem with it, Diners. It's almost to the point to, like, say for instance that I'm doing your bidding for you, Diners. If I don't want immigrants, if you don't want immigrants in your house and I'm the one deporting them, so you just ain't gonna say nothing about them. But when Trump was in office, when he was trying to deport them, when he was trying to do that, they was all at the border, you know what I'm saying, suing and bringing lawsuits, this lawsuit, that lawsuit. But that's not even a point though, Diners. I just said that to just go off of just bringing up a far left point in that don't even make sense to what we're talking about. The bread and butter issue is that 300,000 migrants are coming in America a week, Diners. It was not 300,000 coming in under no administration. They go for Republicans and Democrats, Diners.
Do you have a?
Let's just stop right there, right now. Let me repeat it one more time. 300,000 migrants are coming in at this time. It had been no other president administration had that, and now we get to the point where what is? I don't understand, bro. Are you that sensitive? Hey, are you that sensitive?
No, there's no sensitivity.
Are you that sensitive?
All I did was ask a question. Where are you getting those
Bro,
numbers?
Listen, you can ask me whatever. Just because you want to ask me a question and you interrupted, that don't give you the right to interrupt because you want to ask a question. That's just like if you talking every time I want to ask a question, I just interrupt you. That don't even make sense.
Once again,
but let me finish. So now with 3 years have went by, where's at its height now? Now, after 3 years later, you want to come up with this, get time to the State of the Union, you want to come up with a bill. So now you want to come up with a bill that you want to sign it. But of course, just like anything else, people don't look inside the bills. It doesn't mean that he's going to shut down the border. That means that he has the option to. He can still let everything go through. It is nothing unless Title IX is implemented. That was the only thing that was stopping it. And right now, Dynast, the U.S. Supreme Court has actually extended the point that the Texas governor can't arrest them. Now, we're the only nation that somebody can do something illegal. We give them another name, and now we can't arrest them because we changed the name. But you go to any other country and do something illegal, you might not even make it out of there. But I have no problem. I have no problem with that on its face. It's the point that how you have black people that sit up and make points for their own demise. It ain't, at the end of the day, it ain't nothing good about 1 million immigrants coming in here a month. It's nothing good for black people on that. It's nothing good that is already 72 million of them here, Dynast. It's nothing good for black people under that. It's nothing good for black people that is 17 million in hiding. It's nothing good for black people under that. It's no reason for black people to even say the word black and brown coalition. Knowing. But every black person knows this in deep down in their heart, that Mexicans and the Latinos don't fuck with us. They really don't. They'll talk to you. You come and buy something to them, buy something from them. They're fine with that. Latinos do not cape for black people at all. Matter of fact, most of them, especially in Georgia, Latinos are shocked. They are shocked that black people are sitting up there caping for their demise. And they're bringing all their people in, all their people over here and take over. They don't took over. The construction business in Atlanta used to be run by black people, Dynast. Now it's ran by Latinos. The whole thing, that's a multi over, I think they said it was like 250,000 business is going to the Latinos. So now they got the construction down pat. They got the lawn service down pat. You get what I'm saying? So now black people don't been pushed out that sector all together, Dynast. So the only thing black people got is to go in there, is to clock in, to be an employee. You get what I'm saying? Sell weave or sell some barbecue out there on the side of the road. And I'll land my plan with that, man.
So as I was stating, right? So the question, one, we have to acknowledge the fact, and I stated this earlier, that the reason why they didn't discuss the Obama administration deporting illegal immigrants, separating kids from parents and all this stuff, is because he was a media darling. So I stated earlier that them bringing this up about Trump is hypocritical, right? Because this has been going on with every U.S. presidential administration, right? The second issue, and as I stated, is the fact that the president doesn't control a mayor creating a city a sanctuary city, because this happened under Trump's administration with the mayor of San Francisco announced that. And a number of cities in San Francisco announced this while Trump was president. So the issue here, and there was someone in the comments that even talked about that during the camp, the two primary mayoral candidates in Chicago were Democrats, and the black community stated that they were against illegal immigration. The brother, I forget his name, was elected mayor, and then they even stated once again, we don't want illegal immigrants coming to Chicago. Chicago be a sanctuary city, and the guy did it anyway. So this was the situation in which the people expressed to the potential candidates, we don't want Chicago to be a sanctuary city. They did it anyway. A good example is even in my hometown of Dayton, Ohio, the mayor was pushing for Dayton to become a sanctuary city. many of the large sector in the Black community said we don't want this to be the case, and the mayor did it anyway. So we find, and we know that this happens all the time, where politicians will work to based on they work to the benefit of those who funded their policies, their campaign, rather than to the constituents that they're supposed to actually support. So I've seen this before as well, where people say this is not what we want. The person gets elected and does it anyway, particularly around the immigrant issue.
But Lumumba, as far as at the border, were this amount of immigrants coming through the border unchecked, like they were?
Right. Well, we need to get a reputable source of what is the actual amount.
It's 300,000.
Well, where did you get that number?
You can go to ABC. You can go to CNN. You can go to MS. Let me tell you. Ask me a question, so let me tell you. You can go to CNN. You can go to MSNBC. You can go to CBS. All of them. They was all reporting on it. It wasn't. This is not no article. Lumumba, this is something that was. Hold on, bro. Can I finish, bro? Can I please get more than? Can I please get more than 4 words out my mouth before you get to interrupt me, bro? You sit up there and talk uninterrupted. I don't understand that psyche of a black man. You sat up here. No, you sat up there. You sat up there and talk uninterrupted. You know what I'm saying? And that the female genes that you got in you would not let you sit up there and let somebody else talk. It's just sad. It's sad to see that everybody in the chat see that, bro.
If I got female genes, I'm gonna get my phone number.
Let me read.
We're gonna make this happen. If I got female genes, I put my phone number in the chat. Hit me up and we can meet up.
Why would I want to talk to a sassy boy?
It sounds good. It sounds good, but you want to
let me be both you guys. Go on. Let me read these stats real quick. So I found these stats at the Federation for American Immigration Reform. In December 2023, total nationwide encounters reached a record 371,036, eclipsing the previous monthly record set in September by 30,000. So
that was a month.
I apologize. I was off 70,000. I apologize.
You said 300,000 a week, not 300,000 a month. That's why.
But again, Lumumba, do we see the same amount of numbers under Trump, under Obama?
No, we do not. No, we do not. We do not see the same amount of numbers under Trump or Obama.
Right,
and then under Biden.
Okay, and then with Biden saying that his first, one of his top priorities was immigration, and this is who Black people voted for. How can Black people not be held accountable?
No, I only thing I'm speaking to was Chicago in specific. I'm not talking about because we all know what he's about, because he stated that was one of his number one priorities. He had 2 priorities that was one of the top 2. I was just talking about Chicago in general. But I mean, I don't know why I'm not a fan of Biden at all. And I think I told you this when we was conversing offline, that I think Trump is going to win.
Nebby, go ahead, Nebby. Unmute yourself, Nebby.
Peace, everyone. How you doing, Dynast?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just I'm bored, so I clicked the link, and I was listening to I came in a little late, but I see the title, and I noticed that the brother Lumumba was saying, how you brothers doing? That the border is not open. Now I've taken a liking to the Fox News channel over the past 3-4 years, whatever. And the past 6 months, I would say maybe, or whatever amount of time it is, it started out as everybody, all of the journalists saying, the border's open, the border's open. All of the conservative or Republican side people saying one thing, and of course the president's administration denying. But finally, about 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, or maybe sooner than that, the president admitted, when they asked him when he was boarding Air Force One, is the border open? And he said yes. He admitted it finally.
Okay, can you pull that video?
Okay, the president of the United States right now is Joe Biden. I don't want anybody to get confused here. What I'm talking about.
Right.
So
Can
he
you
finally
pull that
admitted it.
video,
I have
though?
one more thing that I want to say, or I'm not even going to say. If I could turn my camera around, I'll just let everybody read it for themselves. But I don't know how to operate this. How did you turn your camera around? I can't turn the camera around, so I'll just read it.
What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do?
I just want everybody to see the headline that's on breaking news on Fox News Channel.
Hold on, share the screen. Click present on the bottom where it says present.
The bottom says more.
Okay, where it says
comments and settings.
Where it says mute, stop cam, settings, present.
I don't think you can share your screen.
I don't have that
on your phone.
I'm using my phone.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I'll just read it for you guys. I rewound it, so the time is mute because I don't want the time is the time is what is this? So that would be 3:09 p.m. Right now it's 3:28 p.m. Eastern time. So 30 minutes ago, they've been this reports came out. I believe it was today. This is breaking news since about 1 p.m. Okay, and it says finally after all of this time, the Supreme Court, the same 9 justices that had the other thing with Donald Trump or whatever it was, lets Texas enforce its border law. Texas had to create its own border law. The Supreme Court did not. The Biden administration said that they weren't allowed to. They said they were not allowed to create their own border law, and they said it wasn't allowed to do it. So what did Texas do? They sued the Biden administration, and it went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said they could do it, and then the Biden administration came back and said, "Can we put a stay?" I don't know what this legal stuff is. I'm not a lawyer. Can we put a stay, or can we pause it, or something like that? And this was yesterday. Or today's Tuesday, either Sunday or yesterday, and the Supreme Court allowed it. And finally today, about 2-3 hours ago, the Supreme Court said, Texas, you can enforce your border law. So anybody that comes back on Texas, whatever, the state of Texas, and then now they can arrest them and they can give them due process. The border is open. Go check at Arizona's border. Go check New Mexico's border and try that over there. But this is proof. This is evidence. I'm not going to say it's proof because I'm not in Texas. Okay, this is evidence against what is being alleged here. Because the state of Texas literally, and I will turn around and just show everybody what they've been watching anyway. Right here, you see the what do you call those things? The
barbed wire.
The what you call and the barbed wire. Those tractor things. Mm-hmm. They had to make their own. This is, I don't know who this is. If this is, I'm not from Texas, CBP, or if it's Border Patrol, or if it's Texas State Police. I don't know who's doing it. The National Guard is there. I mean, how can you say that the border is not open when just a couple of weeks ago, the former president went to Eagle Pass, Texas, and then the current president went to Brownsville, Texas, to try to counter the reality that the fact of the matter that the border is open. Are you paying attention? What is the purpose of sanctuary cities if the border is closed? What's the purpose of them? The purpose of them is to have somewhere to send these people when they breach the border, because the border state of the biggest one, which is Texas, doesn't want to house, or they can't afford to house all of them. So what did the man do? I don't like what he did because he was it was instigated by Ron DeSantis, and I just don't like the way he thinks. But it worked out for them, and they shipped them all over the country. They shipped them to 3 main places: New York, Chicago, and Denver. Those are the 3, and then of course, California. I think it was like San Francisco or something like that. And it worked out for them. You know why? Because they're right. That's why.
Let me read these super chat. Let me read the super chat real quick. Alfred Buddy, did Black Americans lose the right to speak when they chose Obama over an ADOS FBA person and Ben Carson? Seems like Black Americans choose the representation of a biracial immigrant versus their own native. He makes a good point.
If that ain't the truth, but Ben Carson, he wasn't popular. You know what I'm saying? Obama jumped up there on Apollo and sung a song. He shot a jump shot one time and made it. You get what I'm saying? And you know, he knew Snoop Dogg. That's all it takes for black people. At the end of the day, Dynas, I remember when I first came on the scene, I was doing the doom and gloom and I was telling them how we were. It shocked me how so many people were against me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody could refute the facts, but people just was against me because they didn't like what I said. And that's how it is with black people when it comes to politicians. They'll vote for sloppy Joe Biden because they think Biden likes them. We don't have black people come on this panel, Dynas, and sit up here and say, well, Trump don't like you, even though Biden is systematically destroying the black race by tripling the numbers of another race of people. That same black person, like think about this, Dynas. It's just logic. You got a president that's tripling the race of another group of people, and your complaint still is that, well, Trump don't like you either. But the guy that you claim that don't like you is not gonna let triple the numbers of another race of people come in. But he don't like you. So some type of way, but even though the other person is tripling the numbers, I'm still gonna vote for him because I think he like me and he Obama homeboy. Like that's all.
Go ahead.
Let me say the last point. Okay. This is the mental destruction of black people. I'm just gonna be honest with you, bro. I just don't think I think black people brains plateau at a certain level. Of course, there's some that smart. It's some smart black people out here. But Dynas, coming from my past. You get what I'm saying? I tell it on this show all the time. I done been locked up 19 times. I done did 4 years in prison. I got a level 5 felony, a couple of them. I can't even go on that. Let me tell you something, Dynas. I was at the Elgin Air Force Base for my cousin. Do you know they drew down on me? I'm not even allowed to go on the Air Force Base for celebratory issues. I got a letter that I have to keep with me at all times from the United States, the Air Force Department of Defense, that state that if I ever go on another military base, I will be prosecuted by DOD and federal. You get what I'm saying? And even through all of that, I don't persevere. Even though that I don't came up. Even though all that with no help, Dynas. This ain't no help, no programs, no nothing. This just me getting out saying that ain't nothing wrong with my legs, Dynas. Ain't nothing wrong with my back. It ain't nothing wrong with my arms. And I still think I'm smart with all these felonies and prison records behind me. Even though I ain't graduated from nothing. Still grew my business to over 200,000 a year. Still invest over 40 to 50,000 in my own self. Still got $100,000 house. Still got a 60,000, well not 60, $40,000 whip in the front yard, and that's all on me. And I meet a lot of black people, Dynas, that live and breathe just to go to work Monday through Friday, just to go out and spend money Saturday and Sunday, and then complain about going to work on Sunday night to go back to work. I know more black people that's like that than black people that think like me. And I'll pass the mic.
All right, Nebby, then pass to Delroy. Go ahead, Nebby, then pass it to Delroy.
Yeah, man. Listen, I want to just give you your props on your successes, despite your hardships or your failures. I want to give you props. I just want to say this really quickly. I like what you were saying. I just want to say I slightly disagree when you said another race of people. I don't know all these migrants. Obviously, I don't know any of them, but I'm not convinced that it's another race of people for everyone, or for all melanated people or all black people, whatever, even non-black people, even the other migrants that's coming over here from Europe, that's coming over here from Georgia and Kazakhstan and Ukraine and stuff like that, or wherever they're coming from, because they're coming from all over the world, even them. But specifically for us, I will say, and the TV is not on mute, I will say that I see it's divide and conquer. And I'm starting to learn because I just didn't know these things. You learn with experience. I guess I have to like play a blame game for a second. I guess it's the Democratic strategy to do divide and conquer. I guess I'm kind of slow and retarded. Maybe everybody else knew that was a liberal or a Democratic strategy to divide and conquer. And to be quite honest with you, that doesn't apply to everyone or all people in the diaspora or whatever our group is, our category, because I don't even consider us as one ethnic group. We're the world. We are the world. For some of us, it doesn't apply for everyone. And it's divide and conquer. And I feel it all the time.
Did she just say we are the world? Did she just say we are the world?
Hey, you got let her finish.
Yeah, I said
let her finish. Let me pass it to Del. Go ahead, Delroy. Go ahead, Delroy.
All right. Yeah, all right. I'm sorry I talked too long. All right.
No problem. Go ahead, Delroy.
Hey, Don. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
All right.
Shout out Delroy, man. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, brother?
Go ahead, my brother.
I just want to say three things, right? Now,
Come
as someone that voted for Trump the last time and going to vote for him this time again, I tell everybody all the time, I work in about 35, 37 states, right? And I'm going to say that I don't think Trump or any other president could do anything at the border from what I see on the ground when I work around. I worked in Texas in 2011 for about 7 months. I was there for. And I'm gonna tell you this now. Texas might as well be Mexico, because the majority of people I've seen is Mexican or some other immigrant. That's just a fact. I seen white people. I swore it was just regular white folks. It was Texas white folks, right? And I'm going to tell you, there is nothing nobody could do at the border. I worked in farms. The people that I saw on the farms were immigrants, right? They were immigrants. No black people, no white people is going to be working on the farm picking cotton, oranges, or whatever the hell they pick. We're not going to do it. Immigrants are going to do it. There's certain things that they're going to do that no one else is going to do, right? My last point is, I know the history well of what America did in South America and the Caribbean, right? They forced American corporation on these people all over the country, all the countries from 1950s, 60s, 70s, whatever year it is. Like companies like Chiquita Banana, they went in there, buy up all the farms. They forced the indigenous people there that's farming to sell them their farm. And not only that, even if they stay in the farm, they undercut them by selling their products because they have more for cheaper. They put their product cheap in the market, so the migrants cannot. I mean, not the migrants, the indigenous people there cannot compete. You see what I'm saying? So they forced to give up their land. Right, so I understand why they're coming here, and I don't blame them. America deserves what's happening to them because they effed up all these countries. Look what they did to Haiti, huh? Look what the Clintons and all them did to Haiti, and before that, in the 30s, when they occupied the land and took whatever, messed up their rice production, and so forth and so on. Right, so they effed up these people for 30, 40, 50 years. What do you think was going to happen? It eventually caught up on them. Now it's too late. You see what I'm saying? It is too late, right? And they're going to come no matter what. Nobody's going to stop them unless you put soldiers at the border to shoot them. That's the only way you're going to stop them. And that's not going to happen. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I'm going to say.
Let me ask you a question, Delray. Hold on for a second, sister. Let me ask you a question, Delray. You said a lot, but let me go 2 points you just said. You said that they came over there and messed up the other countries, and you said that they went and messed up Haiti. So let me riddle me this then, brother. You get what I'm saying? Because I believe me, I appreciate your passion, but you know what I'm saying? Your passion is misguided because I agree with you that America right now, America dropping bombs and doing covert missions and trying to topple somebody's government right now. The point of saying that America is right with anything, I would never say that. Dynas ain't saying that. I mean, they came up off some of the biggest banks in America came up off of slavery, but we still go to them banks and put our money in Chase. We still go in there and put our money in Wells Fargo, and they profit. They supported the slave trade. But what I'm saying is, my brother, is that you said that they messed up the Latin countries and they messed up Haiti. The difference is, Mr. Del Rey, the difference is, Mr. Del Rey, that black people ain't caping for the Haitians that's coming to the border trying to get in there. Black people are caping for the Latinos. That's outnumbered. The people that's when they get here is they're gonna go separate. I'm talking about like two magnets placed against each other, Mr. Del Rey. So listen, if black people was caping for the Haitians, if they were talking about some black and Haitian, American and Haitian, answer me this, Mr. Del Rey. Have you ever heard of the Black American or African American and Haitian coalition? Have you ever heard that term before?
No.
But have you ever heard of the Black and Brown coalition?
Of course, that's what they preach on God.
That's my point though. That's my point though. It doesn't matter. I understand you have both. You can see both sides. But what I'm saying is that if we ain't caping for people that look like us, why are we caping for people that one don't look like us, don't fuck with us, don't want to have nothing to do with us? And just like the people in the chat, bro, I saw your shout out, and I'll say what you said. They don't hire us. They don't want to work with us at all. You get what I'm saying? So these are the people that the talking points that black people are repeating, but no black person is sitting up there hating, marching, protesting about the Haitians that's coming over to the border that's being stopped. No black people from Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee. We're talking about the closest 4 states, including the people in Haiti, including the black people that has little Haiti, is going down there in large numbers, are protesting in different cities about the Haitian migrants. So that's my only issue with that. We are selective because that's what CNN told us to dislike. We selected because MSNBC tell us who to like and to dislike. Every talking point that a black person that don't came on this channel and spoke, Mr. Del Rey, that came from MSNBC, CNN, NBC, or the Young Turks. That's my point.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just stating. I wasn't stating black and white. I was stating what America did. That's what I'm saying. And you're right about the Haitians. You're 100% right about the Haitians. But I'm just stating what America did. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. I understand why they're coming, because they effed up their country more than what people even know. If you study the whole thing, they effed them up. They put whatever dictator they wanted to put in there, and they kill whoever dictator don't answer to them. Period. Any government, whether it was Republican or whether it was Democrat. This is what America did. This is what they did. So I'm not saying it's right for them to come across. Right, I'm definitely not saying it's right for us to support them. I'm just saying what happened and why they're coming. Because these countries, if you ever been to South America, these countries are beautiful countries. This ain't no these are drop dead beautiful countries that they live in. Fertile countries. They're very fertile. You see what I'm saying? So there wouldn't be no need for them to come there. So it's a long history. It's a very long history, and I'm gonna say it again. Some of these places you go, like Texas. Texas is a Hispanic state, period, from what I've seen. You know, a lot of these states you go. And all the states all the towns, because I work in a lot of small towns. I work in towns that I was the only black person. Right? I mean, literally. I go work it way up in the Monster, Kentucky. No black people at all. Kids looking at me like they're astonished because I never saw a black person before. So I know a lot about what's going on in the market, and I see what's going on. You know, and just to put a little perspective on it, right? The most racist people, the most racist white people is regular white folks that you see right here in Atlanta, in New York. The so-called rednecks in the woods, those are some of the nicest people you ever met with a rebel flag.
Yeah.
This is what I see.
Delroy, I agree.
You see? I'm dead serious. You see?
Hey,
This is what I observed.
let me say that. Delroy, let me say this one more thing, and we can pass it to the sister. It always shocks me when black people are the liberal media quote Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. But let me tell you what Malcolm X said. He said the black person biggest enemy is a liberal white person. That's what Malcolm X said.
That is the truth.
He said the most cutthroat, vindictive person is the liberal white people. And let me tell you something. Who does black people take all their talking point from? Liberal white people. You get what I'm saying? And they try to vilify the rednecks. And I agree with you right now. I have been to Connecticut, I done been to Maine, and I done been to Rhode Island. And these Tesla driving banana in the gas tank, you know what I'm saying, are the worst white people you ever want to meet. But you can be in the country back roads of Kentucky.
I've been there. I've been in their houses.
You break down in some redneck in a pickup truck with a rebel flag, rebel flag in his window. We'll pull over and help you.
Guess what? I was stuck in a ditch. My truck rolled over. Didn't roll over. I didn't see who the hell I was going, and I went straight on into a ditch. I was stuck. Here come two redneck on a goddamn with a rebel flag in a pickup truck and pulled my ass out. You see what I'm saying? I know I've drank moonshine. Trust me, I was raised in New York. I know this shit 100%. You see what I'm saying? I know what is what in this country because I work in the houses. I work in houses where they have like 50,000 guns all over the place. And I got to move guns aside to run my cable or do what the hell I'm doing. I'm dead serious. You see what I'm saying? So I know. So, you know, getting back to the immigrants and liberals and stuff like that. No, you're right. We should not be supporting the liberal cause with immigration, but on the immigrants part, I could see why. I could see why from the history why they're coming here in so much drove. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's right, but I could understand why. That's it.
Wow. Can I ask a question? I heard what the brother Simp Police Academy said, and I'm from New York as well, Brother Delroy, but I've never been to Texas. I've never been out of the airport on a collecting flight. But the brother Simp Police Academy, maybe it's the language. Maybe it's the language. Maybe I just answered my own question. But my question is, you're right. And I live in a West Indian neighborhood. There's Guyanese and Jamaicans around here. It's West Indian. So, and I like my bubble. I really do. But I'm curious, why do you think is what you said that black people cape for Hispanics? But why do you think that? And the other brother said something too, which is almost. I want to address that too. Why do you think that is? Because I'm Hispanic. So now what? Why do you think? I don't see with me. I don't. It's a lot of this stuff is racist, and I don't care about white people's racism. We have our own racism. Black people have that, and we're gonna have to actually dissect our own racism and just embrace it. I'm not saying just throw everything out just because it might have a negative connotation. But why do you think that black people do you think that is a feeling of powerlessness? Like, what do you think that is about?
No, it's a slave mentality. It goes back into the slave plantation. How black people, was made to be mammies for master's woman, master's kids. You get what I'm saying? So it's just a slave mentality, and that since we came to America. We don't know anything about our past. You know what I'm saying? We only know about what we know after we got here. So all we saw black people was dirt poor, working for white people. White people had the power. When white people said go, white people knows best. White people are the innovators. White people set the standards. White people are the law and order. You get what I'm saying? So to now, black people just want to, black people, okay. And let me tell you the trick part. Let me tell you the trick thing that white people did. White people did the greatest Star Trek Jedi mind trick ever in existence. They brought black people over here, beat them, raped them, killed them, hung them, whipped them, and everything. And then after they released us, quote unquote, dynast, all of a sudden when they released us, now they scared of us.
Right.
Now they scared of us. So now they get this talking point to white people that all white people say is, I fear for my life. That guy is bigger than me. Yeah. That guy, hold on for a second, sister. Hold on for a second. That guy is bigger than me. That guy is louder than me. You get what I'm saying? He looked at me a certain type of way. But during the slave plantation days, dynast, that black person would have went for top dollar to be sold. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is what they call, this is what the thing that we don't do. We don't do opposition research. White people do opposition research. White people study. You know what I'm saying? White people, they operate on black people. They learning all these things, and they have these talking points. They have these think tanks where they sit up there and come with these buzzwords. Do you know, my sister, that white people got a book called a million NIG? I know Dennis don't want to say the word on there, so I'm stopped for saying it. A million Negro jokes. As funny as black people, as funny as black people think we are and are. We ain't never came up with a book for 100 million white people jokes, because we just say the same 3 or 4, 6 or 7. White people got a book. So what I'm saying is that this, if you boil it down to this right here, my sister, the bottom of your heel will never respect the roach. And I'm not calling black people roaches. I'm telling you that's how they think of us. That's how they see us as roaches.
I don't equate. Mike, listen. I don't equate all the time. White people with Hispanics or white people with Latinos. I just don't. I know plenty of black Hispanics, darker than me and all of that. I know plenty of black Latinos. And the diaspora is so diverse that I'm no longer Pan-Africanist, but I want to keep my solidarity, because I still am. I'm still, a part. You're
absolutely correct.
You understand where I'm coming from? So the thing is okay. What I'm saying is, I gotta go to Chicago. I got to just cut this out and just say what I should have said yesterday when I was on Sanders. I just forgot. Chicago. Why did you, Black Chicago? Why did you vote for this man? What's his name with the glasses?
Johnson. Is it Johnson? Something Johnson?
What is wrong with you people? I mean, I've never even been. I've been to Chicago one time. I went to Savior's Day in 2008, and that was it. I never been in the hood and nothing like that. I was just at the convention center, and that's it. So I never really been to Chicago.
Brandon Johnson.
Why in the world did y'all vote for? Listen now, What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, but he's a
What about
politician.
the other guy? What about the other guy? Why don't we have any respect for the wisdom that come from our elders? What about the old guy, the old, tall, skinny guy? That's the one I wish y'all would have voted for.
I don't know what that is.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know if anybody remembers him.
sister. He's a politician, and the best
But
politicians
we gotta come on.
have the
No,
best talk.
we don't need excuses.
I'm saying the best politicians all have the best talk. You see what I'm saying?
They voted. If that's the case, then that means that Chicago, you voted for yourself. You put yourself in the mayor's office, and you're not real good. You can't trust yourself. You should have elected the elder, because he was talking right, and he wouldn't have did this to you. I don't remember his name, but the tall, old, skinny elder, this tall guy.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? I understand what you're saying, sister. I know who you're talking.
Ma, you're going in and out.
Vote for him.
Ma, you're going in and out.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
You're going in and out.
There was a man running for office, and they did not vote for him, which was disturbing to all of us. And he was talking right. So now they reaping the benefits.
Well, we all doing it together.
Well, let Ma finish. Go ahead, Ma. Ma, go ahead.
I said now they're reaping the benefits, which is nothing.
Right.
It's backfiring on them. So now they're finally saying, "Oh, we're complaining. Oh, this is happening," but it's your fault. So now they got to fix it. But there is a problem. Black America needs to regroup, get themselves together, start forcibly. I don't know what I can say now because everybody's being monetized. And so they need to get their act together and take what's theirs, because it's coming down to the wire now. It ain't no talk about it, it's a be about it.
Sister, Trump is gonna win, period. I mean, that's gonna happen.
So what?
So we're not gonna
win. No. It don't matter who wins. When farmers come over here, they do what they got the fuck they gotta do to get what they need to get.
But that's my point. That's the next thing That's the next thing I was gonna say. That's the next thing I was gonna say. Cause don't forget, we were black people in America were Republican first. You remember?
I know the history.
Right.
A lot of them don't know that, Del Ray. A lot of them don't know that.
Right. So we were Republican first. So I mean, it comes down to the bottom line is you really have to do for self. Period. And you have to look out for yourself first.
Do for self with each other. That's
self. That's the self. The self is black people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to do for self first.
Hold up, but the Americans and the Dinges and the Nijis have rights. See, everything is coming out the truth. Okay? The truth they've been hiding for us who've already been here from day one. See, they playing the game. They playing but it's a dangerous game. And so, like I said,
who's playing the game? Who's playing the game?
Who else is playing the game?
No, I asked you a question, then you turn around and
so those are who in position to make decisions. Hold on, and try to make room for those to put their people in position to go against us here in this country.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Who's playing the game?
Yeah, but the people that you're talking about that's playing the game, that not only are they playing the game, they own the building, they own the league, they own the police. They own, hold on for a second, sister. Hold on, sister. We don't disrespect people on here. You get what I'm saying? I heard what you said, and I agree with what you said. But I'm just telling you the issues with that. The people that playing the games own the building, they own the commentators, they own the news, they own the police, they own the military, they own the ships, they own the rail yard. You get what I'm saying? So it's nothing that black people can do unless we do the one thing that you said. So I'm agreement with you. See, sometimes you got to just sit back and listen for a second. I'm agreeing with you that black people need to come together. But let me tell you the fallacy with that statement. If black people ain't came together in 2024, then there's no coming together, because the Biden administration and the white liberals have brought in another group of people. Ma'am, the black experience is over. If you look at it on a logical sense, they have brought in, it's over 80 million of them. And they work together, and they're giving them incentive. They're giving them the incentive. They ain't giving black people nothing. The only thing they give black people is lip service, and they bring out some entertainers and football players and singers every 4 years. That's it. And black people are happy with that. The reason why black people didn't ask nothing for Obama, because he was black. We were just happy to see a black person in there. And then after 8 years, then we got buyer's remorse. Because let me tell you something, most black people thought that, okay, when he get his second term, they can't really do nothing to him. So he's gonna do something in the last 2 years or the last year. He's gonna do something to shake it up. Obama act just like his white ass mama from Hawaii who raised him. You know what I'm saying? He looked out for special interests, and he looked out for people that donate money. Black people, we love to talk, we love to sing, we the best dancers. Nobody can dunk a basketball like us, nobody can do a split like us, nobody can dance and shake their ass like us. You get what I'm saying?
We do more than that, though.
We're not putting no money. We're not putting no money for. We have no congealness in where we put our money towards it. The only thing black people do with our money is that we go and support business that don't even want us in there. That's what we do.
Right
well,
now,
luckily, all of us don't do that. Luckily, all of us don't do that. But let me say something real quick about Obama. When Obama was running, I told all my friends I was around at that time talking about it. I said, let me tell you something. Obama is going to win, right? He's going to win, and he's going to win by a landslide. Nobody believed me. I said, I'm going to vote for him. All of you guys are going to vote for him. But I'm afraid he's probably going to be the worst thing that ever happened to black people. But I'm voting for him anyway because he's black. I swear to God, that's what I said. You see what I'm saying? That's exactly what I said, because I knew Kennedy before he died. He set him up from the 2004 when he made that speech at the convention. I said, this is the next president. Everybody's like, are you out of your damn mind? I said, trust me, this is the next president. They prepare him to be the next president. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to vote for him, and all of us going to vote for him. But he's going to be the worst person ever for us black people. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not what I put. No one believed me. When he won that night, I was half asleep. My friend called me. Oh shit, Delroy, you were right. Man, I said, go to bed, man. It's not even a discussion. I told you what was going to happen already. You see what I'm saying? So most of these things are predictable. You see what I'm saying? Most of these things are predictable. You know?
Well, I want to say something. You know, I'm in New York City. I think I said that already. I'm in New York City, and I don't really want to deal with the migrant thing, but we just have to do it, I guess. And as far as what was already, it's too late. That's exactly. We have to accept
never too late for some of us.
We have to do damage control. We have to, first of all, we have to do damage control. And we should have been, okay, I'm a New Yorker. This is New York culture. I don't know about the rest of the country. I may be wrong about what I'm about to say. What I want to say is we should have been more prepared.
Yep.
Okay. But the culture here is here. So I was just gonna say, as far going back to just to, because I don't want to forget my thought, but as far as for example, the Haiti situation. They're gonna end up here. I'm glad. It's bittersweet. I'm not happy about this. But I'm gonna say that I am. I'm glad that the governor of Florida is doing what he's doing. I'm not. He said they said that they're going to basically prepare for the worst case scenario. Blah blah blah. The bottom line is the reason why I'm saying this is because there is already a track for the Haitian citizens, the Haitian people, Haiti, Cuba, Venezuela, and one other country. I forgot the other country. There is already a track for the people coming from these 4 countries to get to the United States and claim. I forgot what it is. So it's gonna take a long process. It's going to take a long process, but the humanitarian in us, or the humanitarian in me, because there's black people in Venezuela, there's black people in Haiti. It's the humanitarian in me is saying, you know what? At least this racist governor. I don't like Ron DeSantis, but I'm about to start liking him. I'm about to start liking him. At least he's pushing these motherfuckers at bay for now. So that at least there's like a line, if so to speak, of how people can get relief from the fall of their government, the way it's happening.
But see, humanitarian in me.
Leave Cuba out of it. I think Cuba's a different story.
No. The point that I'm making when I'm naming the countries that have us, if you're from those countries, is Haiti, Venezuela, Cuba. No, you got to put Cuba in it. All the countries are have to be represented. Every country needs to be represented. And there's another country. I want to say, I don't remember the 4th country. It's not El Salvador. It's some other country. I forgot the 4th one. Is it Nicaragua? It might be Nicaragua. It might be that country. So all I'm saying is, if you coming from 4 countries, it might be more than 4. If you're coming from these countries and you're lucky enough to make it here. In the first place, if you're lucky enough to make it here, there is a pathway for you to get. It's going to take a long time. You're going to risk your life getting here and everything. But at least there is a pathway for people who really need it to come.
Can I say the reason why I said Cuba?
Please do, because I would love to know.
Because Cuba is already written into law. If your foot touch the land, it's the law that they have to make provision for you. That's why I said Cuba. Leave Cuba, because they already said.
Do you mean that
a big civil war? That's what the fuck is getting ready to happen.
It's got to happen. Yes. Let me just get a clarification. Are you trying to say that anybody that gets to Cuba?
No. Anybody from
that
Cuba
country that makes it here?
Yes. That's the law. That's the U.S. law.
Well, let me
help y'all out. Let me help y'all out. It's called the wet.
About what the sister said.
Wet foot, dry foot.
Real quick.
Hold on. You got to give context so we don't confuse the people. The law is called the wet foot, dry foot law. Go ahead, my sister.
Okay. Well, thank both of you for clarifying. So now, just to piggyback or whatever, turkey back on what the sister just said, the Civil War issue. And I just want to say, I'm a MAGA voter. I'm not necessarily a MAGA supporter, because I don't got none of his gear. I don't got no golden sneakers. I don't got a red hat. But I'm a MAGA voter. But the thing is, the sister said about the Civil War. My point of view is that both sides, and I'm going to point out both sides in terms of the administrations, but it's really Democrat and Republican. Is really more so the MAGA move, Democrat and Republican, but the Biden administration and all of them Democrats, the Clintons, the Clinton family, the Obama administration, but really the Clintons and the Bidens and the Trump administration, both sides have sealed our fate, so that really it's almost unlikely that a civil war will not occur. One last thing I want to say that's a tangent, but I need to say it. I do hope that Donald Trump becomes president. I don't really care what happens. I'm not scared of civil war. Maybe we need it. But as far as these Chinese electric vehicles, that they're planning to manufacture in Mexico to evade the laws in the United States so that they could sell them in the United States. I hope it never happens. When I see in China all of these electric vehicles bursting into flames, I don't want that in my on my block. I don't want that in my home. I don't need to be. That's scary to me. So the whole
unfortunately happened to Tesla also.
Yeah, the Teslas in China burst into flames. The ones in America, why don't they burst into flames? I don't know why.
Sometimes. They do
sometimes. Okay.
Yes.
Listen, I've never been in one. So, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, they burst into flames. The e-bikes also.
And the e-bikes, all of the buildings in New York City keep burning down because people keep putting e-bikes in behind the supermarket, inside the apartment buildings, all over the city.
New
New York
City is overcrowded. I'm born and raised there. It's overcrowded, and it's ridiculous, and it's disgusting. And
but it's not as bad
in government. The foreign people they have in government do not know how to govern the land.
Yeah. Well, that's why we have a former police officer as mayor. I'm cool with him. I didn't vote for the mayor. I missed the election, but I'm cool with him. I don't care that he's not perfect. No, I don't know any perfect people. But yes, you're right. New York City is known, or New York or whatever, is known to be overpopulated, just like California. But luckily for us,
now it's worse though. It's worse.
No, but luckily, no, it's not. It's not worse, actually. It's not. It's actually not. Listen to this. Luckily for us, because of COVID, so many people left New York, and the richest people left first, and they never came back. They went to Florida. So now after COVID, now you have the migrants. And to be honest with you, it's only 200,000 migrants here. It's 165,000. Not a lot. That's not a lot of people. It's not enough for New York City. So we're lucky. It's not as bad as this. Is not. New York's have seen much worse than this. And I just want to say one more thing about overpopulation. You know what else is overpopulated? Because I've been doing this for the past 2 days, since yesterday. I went to Googled the 2 largest islands in the Caribbean. I Googled the population of the island of Cuba, and then I Googled the population of Haiti and the population of Dominican Republic. Now, when you compare the population of the 2 islands, you have the island of Hispaniola, where the population totals 22 million people on that one island, versus Cuba. The population in the island of Cuba is 11 million people. It's half. That island, both countries.
Cuba's empty.
Cuba's empty. That's my point. That's my point. Both countries on the island of Hispaniola, not just Haiti, both of them. Not only are they overpopulated, but they're also 2 poor countries. And that's why there's so many Dominicans here and Haitians. If you're lucky enough to find them. It's overpopulated.
They're overpopulated here, sister. As a matter of fact,
you're in New York?
Yes, I am. The Dominicans are doing well in Dominica.
Little Dominican Republic, yeah.
But here's the thing: they're killing the Haitians, and they won't let the Haitians in. But they're over flooding in here. See, so
yeah, you know they build a border.
Come on, you gotta let the lady speak, man. Let her speak. In the Dominican Republic. That's another thing. Yes, go ahead.
I was trying to let you finish your thought process. Go ahead and finish, man.
I'm sorry. I'm so excited. I'm so sorry. I just want to add to what you just said about the Dominicans and the Haitians and how they treat each other, how the Dominicans treat Haitians. The Dominican Republic,
and they right next door to each other.
They're right next door. But Dominican Republic has just literally started building their own border wall. Okay, so they literally just started building their own
the United States, and they're killing the Americans, which is nothing new.
Who is?
The Dominicans in the Dominican Republic.
They're killing the Americans. Yeah, when you go, if the tourists, they were murdering tourists. What? Can I ask you a question? What part of New York are you at?
I'm in New York, NYC.
Are you in Manhattan?
I'm everywhere.
Okay, well, I'm up here and I'm close to Yonkers, and I'm in 241st Street. I'm all the way up here, close to Yonkers and Mount Vernon. But I'm just curious why you say that it's overpopulated. But I'm in a
It's
different
definitely
neighborhood.
overpopulated.
It is.
It's overpopulated.
But
It's
see, I don't know
overpopulated
about you,
because
but
it's
I'm
over.
used to this.
Hold on for a second.
I'm used to
Hey,
this.
y'all, come on. We got to get some decorum now. You know what I'm saying? We got the. It is what it is. New York City is definitely overpopulated, and I'm just shocked to hear you talk. I just been sitting here listening to you, and you just sit up there and said Matt Adams is cool, and he sit up here letting.
Cool
And
with
he
him.
said, "Hold on, you sitting up. He's letting. He was on the forefront with letting the immigrant come to his city, and now he complaining while giving out money and making all these jumping through hoops for all these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Closing down schools and bringing people in there, and now is all this type of crime going on. People living outside in the streets, and people running around robbing and fighting like it's a whole entire mess in New York. And New York is overly populated. And let me correct you on another thing. It wasn't the rich people that left. It was the poor people that left. It was the poor people that left. Hold on for a second. Listen. We have what you call decorum on this show. We let you talk. You talk for like 5-10 minutes straight, uninterrupted. What I'm saying is that the poor people left because they can't afford to live there. You get what I'm saying? When rent is $1,800 to $2,500 for a little small closet, that's what happened under COVID when the people couldn't work. You get what I'm saying? Because New York was a liberal state, so they brought all these liberal laws where people couldn't work, or you would get fired if you didn't take the jab or whatever. I'm glad I stay in a Republican state where I wasn't forced to take it, and I have never had the jab before, and I had the coronavirus 4 times. But the point that we make it that nobody will agree with you is that have ever been, lived, stayed, don't stay there no more, visit for time, would agree that New York City is not overpopulated. It's most overpopulated city in the United States. Now, compared to an island, yes, because on the island you don't have nowhere to go but water. But New York, people branch out to New Jersey. People branch out just like you. You branched out to the northern port. You get what I'm saying? You can branch out to all over. It's condensed the way for the buildings and the land and the people. That's why you building up. You get what I'm saying? It's overpopulated. Anytime a place get overpopulated, they go to building up. That's why Chicago did like it is, and everybody, Chicago and New York City. But I'm shocked how you said that you're cool with Mayor Adams.
Can I respond to you? I would love to respond to you. I don't agree with you, number one. Number two, you don't know me, so I don't know why you think that I moved here. I was born and raised in the same.
I didn't say you moved there.
You said
no, because either you have a hearing problem or you just waiting to respond, so you're not listening. I never said that you moved anywhere. You said that you was in Yonkers, and you said that's where you was at.
What I was saying?
So I don't know you at all.
I would like to respond to you and practice my decorum. You did say that, and whether you want to admit it or not, I'm not done speaking. I've lived in this neighborhood since the day I was born. I didn't move anywhere. Okay? Number one. Number two, I don't agree with you that it was only poor people that left New York. Rich people left New York as well. The rich people left first. I left New York, but I didn't leave until 2021. And I went to Alabama for 2 years, and I had to come back. So I know what I'm the one that's in New York City. You're not. You're in a Republican state, and luckily for you, you didn't have to leave. Luckily for you, you didn't have to leave like I did.
Yeah,
I just have one more thing to say.
She don't start it babbling now, man.
I just have one more thing to say.
Yeah, you're just babbling now. You're just babbling now. Like, how can you even sit up and say that you knew that the rich people left first?
I won't say anything after this. I won't say anything after this. I won't say anything after this. I just got one
Ladies
more
for
thing.
30 minutes straight.
Y'all, hold on. One mic.
Ladies first. Ladies go. Let the
Can I
ladies go.
just? I have one last thing to say, and then I won't say anything else after that.
Please.
My final thing that I want to say about Eric Adams. First of all, I did not vote for him, so I got no issues with Eric Adams. He doesn't bother me. None of his policies hurt me. I don't understand how that don't make sense to you. How does that not make sense to you? I'm only 1 out of 8 million residents in New York City. So why should I feel some type of way that Eric Adams became mayor? He didn't hurt me personally. I knew how to dodge the bullet. What's the everybody that voted for him that's not satisfied, you should be mad. Not me.
Can I say something about Eric Adams?
Here's the thing. Eric Adams went to Jerusalem to get help for over here. Now, does that make sense? Well, look who's over here who's running New York. Look who's running New York, though. And look who is financially backing up Eric Adams, okay? Must we say the funny tie hats with the curly top? Okay.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah, but it doesn't bother her at all because it don't bother her at all because she dodged the bullet. Go ahead, Delroy.
Let me just say something. All right, I've been in because both of you guys, I think most of you guys are right.
Hold on, where my daughter lives, guess what?
Let Delroy go.
They found a missing arm and a body.
Hey, let Delroy go ahead, Delroy.
Delroy said women come first.
Go ahead, Delroy.
See how it bites you in the ass when you feel?
I spent most of my adult life in New York. I think I stayed about 30 years before I moved to Georgia. And yes, some part of it is overcrowded, some part are not. The building codes that they had for a while needed more for New York itself. It needed more high-rise building to fit everybody properly. So yes, I would say some part is definitely overcrowded, and depends on where that sister live. I know that area well. That area is not overcrowded, but now it's getting overcrowded. All right.
How you know that, Delroy? You ain't down. You ain't down. She lived there. How you gonna tell her?
He's a New Yorker.
Because
I don't mind
I'm a New
listening to other
Yorker.
people.
Let
You
Delroy finish.
Finish up. Yeah, not only am I a New Yorker, but like I said all the time, I work everywhere. That's my job, to work and be everywhere. So that's why I speak on so much different things. As far as Eric Adams, I knew him per se when he was a police officer because of an organization that was in. I had to deal with him. From what I knew, how I met him, he seemed to be a genuine person. From what I've known of him, way before he was mayor, right? He seemed like a genuine person. He seemed like a genuine person then.
But
a lot of the things that he's doing with immigrants, a lot of things that he's doing with the immigrants, it's already New York law before that. New York have like I forgot what it's called, but it's like a non-homeless law, right? I forgot what it's called. Right to shelter, right. He didn't put that there, right? So if he's doing something within that, he's actually following the law, right? And he would have to go to court to change it. And he did speak about it, right? Boston have the same law, right? I don't know if Chicago have the same law, but they may have the same law, right to shelter. So within the law, you have to give people shelter. That's the law. You see what I'm saying? So he's not operating that. He definitely went overboard, but he's actually operating within the law. That's all I'm going to say.
He's
No,
trying
but
his
let me
best. That's
explain
my
something to you
opinion.
real quick, though. Let me explain something to you, Ms. Del Rey. Just because it's the law, at the end of the day, see what you did then. You was almost there, Del Rey, but some type of way you went disingenuous at the end.
No,
You
I
can
don't
be
think so.
within the law. There's over 1,000 laws on the book that are not implemented. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know,
They're not
you know that in
enforced.
some laws that you can't even have a sofa or a sofa chair, any type of living room furniture on your front doorsteps. The laws is what it is. But the
I understand you.
disingenuous part of it is, Del Rey, is that he welcomed them. He welcomed
Yeah.
them in. It's a lot of other
Yeah.
cities that have a rights to shelter. Do you get what I'm saying? But they
But let me
ain't
ask you
welcomed
something.
them. Let me finish that, right? Let me finish, bro.
Good.
I didn't interrupt you, bro. So what I'm saying is that he welcomed in, so he brought on the problem to himself. And then this is what the Texas governor said. Texas governor said, okay, since you welcome it, let me help you out since you're so welcoming and you got all these resources and you want to help. So he said, okay, basically what he told him, put your money where your mouth is. You get what I'm saying? So he's like, I got these buses. So what the next thing he go to do? And since he working within the law, he's like, oh shit, it's too many coming in. Now it's overburdened our budget. Now he's complaining to Biden. Now they ain't listening to him. So as soon as he go to complaining, what started happening? Now he started getting all these investigations, and now he got sexual assault. Now he got sexual assault investigation. You ain't heard about that? That just came out today. Del Rey. He got the sexual assault. They investigating on this as far as with the money that him and his people get. They investigate him all because he playing the fence. See, one thing that I give Democrats credit for, you can't play the fence as a Democrat. You got to be all in. You know what I'm saying? Are you out? That's the way it is. He's playing the fence. So as soon as he start playing the fence about, okay, the federal government got to help and they got to do all this. Now all these investigations coming in. Now you got sexual assault. Why before he started complaining about these migrants that these sexual assault victims didn't show up? You get what I'm saying? So now he's getting attacked by both sides. He getting attacked. He getting attacked from the Texas governor, and then he getting attacked from his own party. And we all know that most sexual assault charges that come from 56 years ago come from a liberal. That
So
comes
let me
from
ask him,
that's a
how would you advise them? How
Hey,
would you
let me
advise them on
finish.
what
This
to
the
do
last
now?
thing.
if I
This
can
last
interject,
thing, Darren, right? This the last thing.
let me interject real quick. The sexual assault case was from 1993.
That's my whole point. So who you think? So Dynas, who you think helped that person bring it? You think a Republican with Republican lawyer, Republican
No.
think tank would bring that? That is a liberal way, and they gonna bring it up and boost her up like she's so credible and believe all women. All these talking points are liberal. Believe all women. You know what I'm saying? Don't say nothing about a woman's body. Don't say nothing about a woman anyway. Women, all that are liberal talking points. So you know what Mayor Adams did? He tried to block the buses. So you know what Texas did? Oh, well, let's talk to New Jersey. So we're gonna bring them in, we're gonna bus them into New Jersey, and now they just catch the train to New York. That's how simple it was to go around him because he saw that he didn't have no friends once he started getting on the fence. So New Jersey mayor and the governor and the senators, which is Cory Booker, they didn't even help him. He played himself. You can't advise you can't advise no person when they played himself. He should have played it. The only advice, if there was any advice that I would give him, Darren Ray, is that whatever part that he was gonna play, he should have played it all off the rip, and he wouldn't be having these 1999 sexual allegations coming up.
You don't think he got overwhelmed? You don't think he got overwhelmed?
Police Academy, you're
I can't hear you, man, because she up there babbling about something. I can't even hear you, bro. Go ahead, Darren.
I think he misjudged the situation, and he got overwhelmed. He didn't know it would have been so much.
Right.
And he got overwhelmed, and he's trying to scramble now to fix the situation.
But what is that another word for it, Dale Ray? I mean, I understand you're using nice words for that. But if you're say for instance that you're one way, you're a hardcore Christian. You're a hardcore Christian, and then now all of a sudden now you like, okay, well, you know that Islam thing. I like how they pray 5 times a day. You get what I'm saying? What is that called, Dale Ray? Even though I understand what you're saying about he was overwhelmed, but we're talking about politics. We're talking about politics. We're talking about the Democratic Party machine. You get what I'm saying? You either play it. That's one thing I give them credit for, Dale Ray. When they go all in, they go all in. Head first. They don't care.
Well, that's true.
What you got?
That's
you know what I'm saying? So therefore, he went against the status quo. So now all of a sudden, now he playing the fence. They don't even want him no more. They don't care if he says he's a Democrat. He wasn't acting democratic. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't acting like one of the good old boys, so to speak. So now all this stuff start coming in at him. The FBI, you know what I'm saying? Now he says, who's running the FBI? That's under the Democratic. You think that the DOD and the U.S. attorneys could have stopped that? You know what I'm saying? They could have put that on hold until maybe after the election. Right. Now all this stuff is coming to hurt this brother. You get what I'm saying? Now I don't agree with nothing that he doing. But I just know, and most people on this platform, because we're definitely political, we have political savviness to us, that we know that he started playing the fence when he started complaining and down talking Joe Biden. Democrats don't talk bad about Joe Biden and the federal government at all, Dale Ray. And I pass the mic to you, brother.
Because they under him. That's why. You want to talk about your boss to the public and don't expect the retaliation?
I really think he really did not expect all of this to happen at once. I think it overwhelmed him, and it's like confusion trying to operate right now.
Yeah, because
so you saying he wasn't prepared? He wasn't prepared for the moment, there, right?
Nah, he wasn't. He's not. That's just to be fair. We could condemn him now, but he's not.
Invaded upon our land. I can say our land because it is my land and my ancestors' land, even though some of it has been stolen. But yeah, it's an invasion on our land. Mm-hmm. And so to me, it's like the ones who really have the rights, the original Americans, whether you agree or not, is Black America, FBA, NEG, whatever you call yourself, indigenous, it is our land. So there is going to be a fight. So how are you going to have people who are already here, homeless, need help, need jobs, need food, and they so-called say the economy is about to collapse? Yeah, okay, but you invite millions of people here that's not on this land, bringing their ways. What? And you going to say that Trump has made a seal that there won't be a civil war? Now I'm talking to the sister. She says she's covered and protected because Trump had did something to make sure we won't have. She don't think we're going to have a civil war. It's not just. It's going to be.
Let me ask something. What side?
What did you say?
What side is going to have a civil war?
Let me repeat what I said. I said that both this current administration, the Biden administration, and I have to include the Clintons with these people, and the Trump, the MAGA movement, the Trump administration, they have sort of sealed our fate when it comes to the issue of civil war. And then I said, I personally am not afraid of civil war. I didn't say anything about he gave us protection. I didn't say that.
Who's going to have a civil war?
In the executive office,
civil war against
our fate.
But who's our fate?
Who is
the citizens and the residents and the inhabitants of the United States of America?
Are you talking about
all 330 million residents and inhabitants and citizens of the United States of America?
Okay, you said citizens. Okay.
Citizens, residents, and inhabitants.
And the Clintons have sealed our fate? Do you know how that sounds?
It doesn't matter how it sounds. That's my point of view. Why do you think it matters to me how it sounds? You heard me. Let me say it again. I'm going to make it simpler because now it's now it's sounding like I'm blaming people. And I want to blame people, but maybe I don't have the credentials to blame people. I'm just going to talk about the present. The present administration is the Biden administration. That's one. That represents the Democratic agenda. The previous administration was the Trump administration, who is new to politics and created the MAGA movement. The Republicans and the Democrats have sealed our fate
And
to
what is our
avoid
fate?
civil
Let me
war.
ask. Okay.
That's what I said. And I said I personally am not afraid of civil
then I
war.
misunderstand. When you said sealed our fate, like
We're not going to have a
me, it
civil
was
war
saying,
system.
we're not going to have a civil war. We're already in this fucking civil war.
Well, if you want to call that civil war, but we're not going to have a
People
shooting
have
civil war. I
died.
promise you that.
We're getting food poison, air poison.
That's
It's called a cultural revolution. It's called a cultural revolution that we need.
That's the beginning, because you got a lot of angry white folk, okay? So you can't underestimate nobody. That's all I'm gonna say to y'all.
Who they're gonna have a civil war with?
Well,
My bad. Let me read the super chat real quick. Then I'm gonna pass it to Jamal. Shout out to Low Value Man, Dusty and Broke. It does matter who's sitting in that presidential seat. A white man
It definitely
willing
does.
to give you a job versus Latinos. You'd be pressed to see a single black person working for them in industries they dominate. Go ahead, Jamal. Omar, go ahead.
Appreciate that, my brother. That is exactly what I said. Exactly what I said.
Go ahead, Jamal. Jamal.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hear you now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Good. Thanks, Don. Thanks, Prince Amir, for allowing me on. Yeah, it's a good topic, man. I think some of us, we overreacting though to what's going on with a lot of the migrants. I know New York is getting the brunt of it though, man. They getting hit. Listen, I'm in Philadelphia, and we getting migrants here too. But I mean, these migrants are only like 5'1", y'all. These people are tiny, man. How they gonna take over your neighborhood? And they coming in 5'2", man. So I think we gotta stop scaring.
Finding a lot of dismembered bodies in New York City.
We gotta stop scaring the people, man. Come on, man. like it's these monsters coming over here that's 6'7" and they're gonna take over all neighborhoods. But come on now, stop it, man.
Hey, Jamal, Jamal, you being very disingenuous by saying that they're 5'1", bro. No, bro, that ain't true. We got plenty of them. We got plenty of them right here in America. All these Venezuelans coming in here just as tall as I am, bro. These Venezuelans are not 5'1". Maybe you talking about the Mexicans that coming from Mexico is 5'1", but those guys coming, maybe you just ain't seen but one type, bro. You get what I'm saying? So that's like I don't know where you got that from, bro. Because the Venezuelans are tall. They are taller in stature, bro. They are definitely not 5'1", bro. Those are the Mexicans we're talking about.
I just want to clear up. So I heard some things, the island of Hispaniola with Haiti and the Dominican Republic, it is not overpopulated, y'all. It's actually underpopulated. That island can withstand.
Why is Haiti they killing each other full of game?
No, but hold on.
What's up with that?
Yeah, but
that's a long story, sweetheart. That's a long story.
That's a long story.
That's a long story. You don't want to get into that.
So why are there so many dismembered bodies being found in New York City like never before?
Yeah, but I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on. What I'm saying is that Haitians and Dominicans got to work out. But I will tell you this, man. Why can't because I know a lot of Pan-Africans come onto the stage and come to Dynas's chat. Why can't the Pan-Africans help Haiti right now? The U.S.
What's that got to do with the topic, Jamal? What's that got to do with the topic?
Huh? My bad, Dan. I just wanted to throw that in there.
What's that got to do with the topic, man?
Let me ask you this, Dinah. What do you think Pan-African can do for? What do you think Pan-African can do for our Haiti? Jamal, what you think that they could do?
I don't know, but listen, man. Right now, the Haitians are popping up at my front of my doorstep in Philadelphia.
Good.
I thought they was Africans at first.
Good.
That's good. That's a Haitian, bro. That's our brother.
Listen, I thought
make sure you give him some good meal.
And they Haitians. I thought y'all guys was Africans.
Nah, they're Africans, man. They're Africans.
Yeah. Can I bring something up? As far as the Pan-African thing, this is not necessarily Pan-African. I don't really see it that way, but the African Union. So now Haiti is an observer country to the African Union, and then of course, they were denied the right to be a regular member of the African Union, but they're an observer country.
Yes, they are.
After all of this violence started, or during, it doesn't really have anything. I don't know what it has to do with the African Union, but the Kenyan president has agreed to work with the United Nations to send Kenyan military and Kenyan police to Haiti, and the Haitians do not want them. The Haitians
the parliament voted it down with Kenya.
They said respectfully, please, our Kenyan brothers, whatever the heck they said, please do not, basically do not disrespect us and bring your military and your police over here. We don't want them. This is what they were saying.
They're not coming, sister. They're not coming.
Yeah.
The courts blocked it in Kenya.
Blocked it. Yeah, but the interesting thing about what you just said, the courts blocked it. But why is the president, what's his name? Rutso?
Because he was going to get $300 million.
He was going to do it anyway. He was going to do it anyway.
The country was going to get $300 million. No, he can't get past the court. He can't get past it.
Yeah.
Just like Nigeria couldn't attack Burkina Faso and Nigeria and all that because the courts blocked it.
Interesting.
And that's it. So now the sanctions lifted.
Let me ask you a question. Now let's be realistic about this. You keep saying the courts blocked this and the sanction and all that. Behind the closed doors, do you think those people follow the damn courts and documents? No.
Ma'am.
I mean, but you gotta think about it like this, Ma. By your own question, you know what I'm saying? You can say that about anything. So
Right.
same way we can
That's
say,
right.
well, I understand your question, but that's what we call that. Either that's a hindsight question or that's a Sunday morning quarterback question. Of course, there's always backdoor deals going on. You know what I'm saying? So just like the CIA do covert missions without the president knowing. It's called plausible deniability. So he can sit up here and say, the president can sit up here and say, well, you know what? I'm not doing it's not going to be no U.S. troops, boots on the ground. And then the CIA got boots on the ground and the black site and the mercenaries, and they doing so. At the end of the day, as far as black people, it's over with for us because there's so many splinters. It's so many splinter groups. You get what I'm saying? You can't have splinter groups when it's only 42 million people. You get what I'm saying? You got FBA. You got the Chevy Navajo Cheap Cherokee Indians. You get what I'm saying? You got the flat Earth theories. You get what I'm saying? You got the black people. You got the Christians. You got the Christians, you got the Muslims, you got the Hebrew Israelites, you got all these group of people because at the end of the day, it all go back to slavery. Black people, we don't really know where we come from. So if we hear something good or we attach to something, we're like, that's fine. If all y'all, that's fine if y'all the Ma, that's fine if you're the person that knows where you come from. But the thing about it, we have people come on this platform in the thousands. We really don't know. You get what I'm saying? That's why you have a lot of black people just doing DNA tests to throw darts. You get what I'm saying? Because we don't know. So if you know, that's fine. If Delray, hey Delray, is it Delray or Delroy? Because somebody said I'm saying your name right.
Delroy.
Okay, I've been saying your name wrong, bro. I apologize, my brother. You get what I'm saying? So, but when it get down to it, we have all these different sections of black people. We'll never come up under one umbrella because what I feel is that I think that we just amalgamation of tribes the same way how we came over there to Africa. Bantu, Hausa, Fula, Mende, Timne. You get what I'm saying? We didn't come over here as one tribe. We came over here as different tribes. And you got people like Ma that believed that we was already here. So you know what I'm saying? You got all these different factions. There's nowhere in the world that black people come together. So that's why you have a lot of black people, when they get mature in their thought process, they realize it's no black community. It's just a lot of black people. Some get along, but it's no collective mission. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but
I
that was
think the
designed
challenges
though.
is forcing us. Hold up, the challenges is forcing us to be together.
It was designed though. It was designed.
And y'all gotta
Every
stop
time they try
saying
to get together,
but
every time
hold on.
they get together, they chop it.
Yeah, but y'all gotta
they know
stop saying
what
we're not together.
they're creating they're unfortunately, like usual, they are writing the narrative, and I hate it. I hate what I think this administration has done, and because of that, you may not like what I have about to say or may not agree, but because of that, they know us better than we know ourselves, so to speak. Because what I'm thinking about when I say this is the flights. Did you know that they had they flew in people directly from Venezuela to like JFK, from Haiti directly to JFK, 300,000 people. I don't know what other airport besides JFK in New York. I have no idea, but they flew
Not
them
Haiti.
in. This was where else?
Not Haiti.
Now, this is what I'm hearing too.
Venezuela.
Hey,
But the point is that they flew them.
hold on. Let me pass it to Brandon. Go ahead, Brandon. Let me mute yourself, Brandon. Let me mute yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with this situation. You got a lot of people saying a lot of different things. First and foremost, at the end of the day, black people know exactly where they're from. I don't agree with Hustle Smart. Black people know they're from somewhere from the continent of Africa. We've always known. The issue, damn dog drinking water all out. Listen, so basically, we have an identity crisis. We don't like who we are because for many years in this country, we've been told that that being white is the epitome of existence in America. So black people know where they're from. It's just that we don't want to be who we are because in our minds, being white is so much better. And the next best thing to that is Indian because it's still lighter than being black, right? Our grandmas and stuff, they used to, like, people deny this, but our grandmas used to say stuff like, we're going to do this like the white folks, right? And those are the people who really assigned us our standards of identity, right? We had a civil rights movement where the whole crux of the movement was to be like or equal to white people. How can you try to be like white if you don't know that you're from somewhere else and you're from a different lineage and ethnicity? We know that. We know we're from Africa, just like we know they're from Europe. There's no black person who doesn't understand that. But the reality is, okay, there's black people. There's black people who pretend like they don't know. They pretend. We all sat in school. This is the truth. This is the truth. We all sat in school. We learned about history. We learned about geography. We learned who come from where. We all did that. It's a law in the United States that you have to go to school. And that's what they teach in school. Now, Hustle Smart is saying there's not a community. Well, in reality, there's no community in any culture. It's just a bunch of people who have the same goals, right? They're not really sticking together because they love each other or they like each other or, hey, we're all the same race. They're sticking together because they have a shared system of values and goals. Like, you can take a bunch, like Dynast. If me, you, and Hustle Smart lived next to each other and we put like Africulture Concepts, Delroy, and some other guys like Two Niger, Black Ambassadors, will we not have a peaceful community? Yeah, we would.
We will.
Right. Because all of us want the same thing. We have similar goals. The problem with the black community is we constantly are trying to drag along the degenerate element of our community. If it was nothing but Tyler Perry's and Oprah Winfrey's and, me, you, Hustle Smart, we would be great. But the problem is we've been taught that we can't go forward without dragging Pookie, Ray Ray, and Bonquisha along with us. And what that does is that makes it look like we have no community or a dysfunctional community. But every day we get on YouTube, we see that there is a community of smart African American people who want something better out of their life than to just live in the streets and do, lowbrow stuff.
Could I ask a question?
So, always with a question, but go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say that don't you think the situation now is forcing Black people to think otherwise?
No, to make them think. I don't ascribe to this. Somebody made it this way and they designed it this way.
I just said the situation is forcing Black people to now
there's
think
nothing forcing
out of the box more now.
It's like forcing Black people to acknowledge it, you mean?
Right, to be more out of the box now, to actually think differently and think for the, more of a reality situation. That's what I'm saying. Some of those Black people in Chicago.
I think Black people have. I would word it differently from you.
That's
from what
called buyer's remorse, right?
Well, what it is, it's forcing Black people to. It's called sobering reality, where it forces you to wake up from a fantasy. So what I would say is, it's forcing Black people to think inside the box more, because Black people entertain a lot of fanciful ideas and thoughts that make no sense in the real world. Most Black people think they're nothing but a bunch of temporarily inconvenienced millionaires. Back in the 90s, every Black person thought they was going to be a sports player or a singer or whatever, while Asians and Africans and everybody else was like, man, I'm going to be an engineer, I'm going to be a doctor. We were literally like, I'm going to go get a recording contract. I'm going to be the next Paula Abdul. I'm going to be the next Beyonce.
I see what you mean, but you're a little bit not fair. I see what you mean. But because if all Black people think like that, brother, then all the thousands of invention and scientific breakthrough that Black people did would have never happened.
But that sounds good. Listen, hold on real quick. That sounds good, Delroy. But let's be real.
Truth, though.
Let's be real, Delroy. The people who invented that. Listen, the people who invented that stuff back in those days were of a totally different mindset than the Black people today. We are.
They still invented today.
We are almost totally removed from those people because we are.
No.
Yes, we are, because we are defending.
Brandon.
Do you think saying no is going to make what I'm saying any less true?
Yeah, but we're still inventing stuff now and still doing scientific breakthrough.
Listen,
I don't understand why you said that. Why would you say that?
When Black people were inventing things, that was being done as Black people who were autonomous, who literally had no handouts from the government. Nobody was going to help them, so they had to help themselves. And that literally breeds innovation. We now are a generation of victims/dependents. Majority of Black people sit up and blame. You do it every time you get up here, sitting up blaming somebody else, saying, oh, this person forced me to be this way. And then they're looking at the same person for a handout. We are far removed from those people, Delroy. And
so you're telling me
ill people.
So you're telling me my son that have two engineer degrees, right?
Yeah.
Is not a new Black person?
Your son has engineering degrees based on theoretical knowledge. He ain't gonna invent anything. He's not gonna design his own.
What he's gonna do.
What you learned.
Brandon.
That's
no.
Brandon.
Brandon, the buck with you.
Brandon, take that back. Take that back, Brandon.
Listen,
please.
Okay, I'm gonna
take that back.
Okay, if you stop talking,
Brandon, please take that back, Brandon. Please take that back.
If you stop talking, I'll take it back. This is what I'm telling you.
They have Black invention right now in America. Right now, inventing.
That's fine.
There are people still trying to invent.
You ain't gonna tell us what
they
you
are
invented.
Not trying. They are inventing. Come on now, Brandon. Stop the bullshit,
right.
Brandon.
One second. Well, hold on. One mic. I think so. Brandon's question is, what's being invented?
Exactly.
What do you mean? What's
Okay,
being
do y'all
invented? What's
remember what happened in Buffalo, New York?
Dennis, do you acknowledge the list that I've been sending you on different things that Black people does?
Man,
No.
you said
invented. Hold on 1 second. Send me the list of the recent inventions.
Okay, I will. I will. Recent mean what? Recent is the past 20 years.
Brandon, 20 years.
That's recent.
Fine.
20 years.
Does anybody remember what happened in Buffalo, New York at the supermarket, that shooting?
What does that have to do with
I'm about to explain it. I'm about to explain it. I'm about to explain it. One of the people. One of the people
that runs off of water.
Thank you.
Please
That's
stop.
an invention. How we go?
Please
There we
stop.
go.
Please
There's
stop.
another invention. There's another invention. Somebody, his name is Harlow Maine from Jamaica. He invented Why? You want me to stop?
You're just saying stuff you learned off of YouTube, and most of it is inaccurate.
Brandon, you gotta stop, Brandon. Brandon, you really have to stop.
Man,
Come on now.
listen,
Brandon. Come on now, Brandon.
The first thing, listen, let me tell you something.
Name me one thing a white person invented lately, Brandon. Tell me that.
Listen.
Tell me one thing a white person invented, Brandon.
Who invented Bitcoin?
The internet.
Who invented Bitcoin?
What was their names? Where they from?
Bitcoin's not an invention.
Where they from and what's their names? Because I know
Bitcoin is not an invention.
Okay. Yelling, we can sing
Bitcoin
together,
is
but
not
we
an
can't talk
invention.
together. Listen to what I'm telling you. The biggest thing that is standing in the way of black people is what's on display right now. Hyper emotionalism.
You're wrong, Brandon. You're wrong. You're not balanced. You don't balance black people.
Bro, you're a grown man and you can't even let me talk.
I'm not going to talk no more.
You're a grown man.
Let me tell you something.
You gotta let the man talk, bro.
You gotta be all the time.
Listen,
man,
y'all getting on the head, bro.
You can't, Brandon. You gotta balance.
Delroy,
balance, bro.
Delroy. The first thing out of everything is respect. Okay, Dynast made me apologize to you the other day.
Yeah, that's fine, but you gotta have a balance, bro. You don't have a balance.
You don't reciprocate the respect. A grown man is talking. If your son was talking, you would shut your ass up and let him say what he got to say.
Brandon, I'm not gonna let you talk no more. You know why I don't want you to talk no more?
No,
Brandon,
that don't even make sense, bro.
Brandon, you know why I don't want you to talk no more?
That don't even make sense.
What
you think you finna say,
because you're not
balanced. That don't even make sense.
Balance your
That don't make
situation,
sense,
bro.
Ray.
It cannot be one-sided all the time.
That doesn't make sense, boy. This is man. Dynast let anybody come over here and talk, whether he agree with him or don't agree with him, bro. I ain't allowed. You ain't allowed to stop nobody from talking, bro. That ain't cool.
And I'm not stopping from talking, but I'm just saying
stopping him from
talking. Brandon does not have a balance. You gotta have a balance in life.
You're over. If you think
That's
he's
what I'm
wrong,
saying.
then rebuke him. Then reboot him after this. Listen, everybody who had a job has sat up with a white person or Hispanic or whatever. Be wrong is two left shoes. You ain't gonna jump up and interrupt the president of your company while he addressing the board of your company, saying you wrong, bro. You wrong. Black people have to start with respect first. That goes a long way. Because that's why black people ain't invented shit in the past 50 years. Because every time a black person,
my God,
every time a black person, every time a black person, even if they know about something, go to talk, it's always somebody who don't know shit about it getting up, interrupting them, and nobody stands up like Hustle Smart did and say, bro, you need to chill out and just let this man say. We don't have to agree on everything, but we always have to give respect. What I'm going to tell you is black people may, listen, whatever black people invent, whatever you bring up to me, right? I guarantee you, within a matter of minutes, they sold it to white people for pennies on the dollar. Because that's what we say. No. But I'm gonna say we ain't invented crap in the past 25 years. That's worthwhile. I'm gonna say that too. But
that's a wrong statement.
Okay, hold on.
You can't tell me what's wrong.
Hold on, Brandon.
I'll bet you $1,000. And I got the money to back it up. $1,000.
Let's pass it to Jamal and then I'm Philip. Can you come on, Philip? Philip, links in the chat room. You
gotta read that. You gotta read the super chat, Dynast, so you can drop it down.
Yeah, I gotta read the super chat. Shout out to our brother O'Shea Duke Jackson. My brother always got them good grifted topics. I'm not grifting. I'm just telling the truth. All right, go ahead, Jamal.
Old face Jackson for the win, shorty.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jamal. Jamal, you on your Obama phone, Jamal.
You got that Kroger. You got that Kroger bootleg.
The conversation is everywhere. You can't hear me?
You can't be buying them cell phones out the cheesesteak place, Jamal.
Go ahead, Jamal. You're on your Obama phone, but go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Man, that's that cheesesteak.
How about now? Sound.
Go ahead.
There you go, bro.
All right. Yeah. I was saying, I mean, I agree with Brandon on we do. If we don't have a black community, nobody has a black community, right? You know, look, we live in community with one another. We go to our institutions. We go to HBCUs. We
Yeah, man, he's on that Obama phone. Come on, Jamal.
Hey, Dynast, you know what the craziest thing about this situation is? When I said black people haven't invented anything, all these people had to do was start naming inventions. Nobody is naming an invention, but they are certain we didn't invented all this stuff for the past 20 years.
I will send the list to Dynast.
Why don't you just name the invention?
That's why you don't admit that black
Why
people
don't you
you don't
just
even let us finish.
The cell phone. The cell phone.
Ma'am, do you
The
really
The
the cell phone was invented 20 years ago?
No, you're
the
on
cell phone
StreamYard right now.
We said within the last 20 years.
No, listen, you're on StreamYard right now, right? Think about this.
Yes.
Right? The protocol for me to listen and talk to you right now is VSIOP, which was invented by a black woman, right? Marion Croak.
Thank you.
Google her. Marion Croak. The fact that you're talking to us right now is a black invention, you know?
20 years ago.
No, well, regardless of when it was, it is an
They
invention.
said in the last 20 years, Dynast, wasn't that the
pushing the
criteria?
goalposts, man. Y'all try. Y'all.
They're
Let me
moving the
tell y'all what the
goalposts.
problem is, man. Y'all sit up here pushing the goalposts to demonize Brandon. Like
And
Del
Kate.
Ray. Y'all all said 20. Y'all all said 20 years. Del Ray even agreed to 20 years.
20
so
years.
what I'm
Yes,
saying is,
20
listen,
years.
I'm a fair
20
guy,
years.
bro. I'm a fair man. I'm a fair
20
guy.
years.
You get what I'm
20
saying?
years.
I'm just
I'll
saying to
take you
just
to it.
stick with. If y'all just stick with what
20
y'all
years.
saying, if y'all don't like what he's saying, then just come back afterwards. But pushing the goalposts ain't
Dynast,
right,
can
bro.
I share a quote? Can I share a quote, Dynast?
Yeah, go ahead, Brandon. Share the quote.
There's a quote that's a wise man once said, if they didn't have double standards, they would have no standards at all. They get to speak freely while I remain quiet. As soon as I start talking, they want to interrupt and filibuster everything I say.
Okay,
you
y'all
can't
listen.
stop
Same
the truth.
bullshit all the time.
Hold on. Philip is coming on. Don't interrupt Philip, please. Philip, go ahead, Philip. Unmute yourself. Philip. So Philip got an Obama phone too.
He got that Dunkin' Donuts Wi-Fi also, bro.
That phone at the Kroger. Listen, the Kroger over here off of Roundtable with Abernathy.
Yeah, with they got the little tarp out there in the parking lot.
Nah, he's actually inside the store now. But the tarp, he inside now. But
he don't came up.
But Sip, the dollar store on Roundtable Abernathy, they got the tarp outside.
Oh man, you know they got it. You know they got it out there.
And then Dynast, the inventions that they make, black people have no access and very, if any, little use for these inventions. A car that runs on water, you really going to be able to afford that? That's going to be multiple millions of dollars to you, something like that. It's ignorant. This is pure ignorance.
Changing the story.
Hey,
I'm not changing nothing.
Hold on. One mic. Philip, you got to unmute yourself, Philip. Philip.
Hey, sorry. There were some issues, so I'm actually in the lounge of our building. Sorry.
Okay.
But in any case, Brandon has made some good points about, the practicality of the education we have as opposed to what it has been in the past. My only commentary in the chat was that our biggest problem is and continues to be money. So we do invent quite a bit of, during Black History Month, I didn't do it this year, but last year or the year before, every day I put on my Facebook inventions made by Black people in the United States. And we've invented everything from the cooking spatula to the radiator to refrigerators to the heaters in the boiler heaters. We invented LASIK eye surgery. We've invented quite a bit. We invented the
Everything
mathematics.
of value.
The mathematics for GPS. There's a black lady that did the calculations for it. But what happens is we don't have investment infrastructure to put money behind that which we invent. And I can use a personal example. I had a guy that I worked with when I first started out as a lawyer. I worked for the city. And one of my coworkers invented a device to help make ping pong tables better. And he spent out of his, because he was showing us the patents and stuff while we were working together. He spent out of his own pocket, I think about $100,000. And this guy, he was married, he has kids. But once he got the patent and so on, then he had to go on a whole other journey of trying to get people so he could mass produce it. Because those type of patents, you have to build a prototype. And the prototype is usually very expensive because it's built from a molding. So, Brandon raises a good point. But I think what's larger is that we, as a community, refuse to face the fact that most of our problems root around money and to build infrastructure to circulate money between ourselves, whether you're a professional person or you're a working person, a tradesman. We create a bunch, but what we don't do is we don't mass produce. And I think that's also
be specific about the money, Philip. Be because black. I don't think they really understand. They think you just saying money, and black people like we got money. No, like we talking about a certain type of money with a certain type of vision. Go into that, my brother.
Well, I mean, Hustle Smart, you have talked about this quite a bit with.
I try, man. I try.
With the contracting, with the intermodal trucking and so on, and trying to get companies to invest in, black small businesses and so on regarding trucking. That it's just a general. All right, let me take a step back because you wanted me to go into detail on this. Okay, so let me talk about this. And I've talked about this company before. Years ago, when I was doing trade work in Asia, that I had a client that they build truck containers. So they build the container itself, right? And there are all kinds of containers. Hustle Smart has talked about it many times. As a non-for-profit for their container company, they built what they called a medical container. So what these containers would do is you could drop them in rural areas, and you could do surgery in there. They purified water. You could do basically medical procedures so that rural areas in third world countries didn't lose people because they had to travel so far to a hospital.
Right.
Okay. Here's the issue. The issue is once you have an idea like that, you have to be able to mass produce it. And one thing that Black people don't have is they don't have a fintech market that is readily accessible to them to bring their inventions, and people who do that type of speculative investment, whether it's venture capital or it's angel investing, they don't have it. What's more, they don't have entities that support that kind of market, right? So, when people, when they're in Silicon Valley, or even what Hustle Smart is talking about, these small companies that are in trucking, there's no one that he can go to.
Nobody.
To get financing to scale a company or even to invest in another company that does something similar to him. If he comes across something that would be innovative, which I'm sure he has nowhere to go to get money.
Well,
Now,
can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
When you say the black people don't have the money, are you saying that the black people that have the money is not put the money where they should put it? Is that what you're saying? Or are you just saying black people have no money at all? 'Cause I don't understand what you're saying.
See,
With
that's what
Delroy,
that's why
all
I told
roads.
you to. You see
With
why I told you to
Delroy,
break it
all
down,
roads.
Philip?
With
Oh, Jesus
Delroy, all
Christ.
roads
What's
lead to blaming
wrong with you
somebody
guys?
else.
I was asking questions.
Let Philip
There is
respond. Go ahead,
thousands
Philip.
of millionaires all over America. What are you
What
talking
are you
about? I'm just
screaming about,
asking him.
Delroy?
I just
What are you
asking
screaming
him.
about?
What do you mean we don't have no money? That's what I'm saying.
Delroy, let him respond.
Delroy, hold on. Let me answer.
Jesus Christ, have mercy.
But you up there screaming like a banshee, man.
What do you
Calm
mean we don't
down,
have no
bro.
money? I'm saying, that's why I asked him. Are we using the money? Are we supposed to? The answer should be no. But
Delroy, let him finish.
you said we don't have any money, then what does that mean?
He
Delroy,
did
let him
not say
finish.
that. You ain't listening.
Hold on, Sip. Let him Sip, please. Don't just go ahead, Philip. The floor is yours.
Okay, Delroy, here is the thing. There are different types of money. So you can be a millionaire, right? And a millionaire could be that you have a house that's worth $700,000, and let's say you've got $200,000 saved in stock and portfolio stuff, and then let's say you bought yourself a rental property, and that rental property is worth $100,000 and some thousand dollars. Technically, that person is a millionaire, but most of their money is tied up in their house, right? Now, they can borrow against the equity of that, but they aren't really liquid, okay?
Don't agree with you.
But let him finish. He's not done yet, Del. Let him finish. He's not done yet.
Okay.
Let him finish. Let him
Wait,
finish.
did Delroy say he disagreed or he agreed?
I disagree with you.
Okay, let him
okay. Well, I mean,
that's not the only people. Those small millionaires are not the only millionaires.
Delroy, he's not done yet.
I'm trying to distinguish the different types of money. That's one type of money. Those people are not liquid, right? Then you have another type of money. And I know this for a fact. Listen, and I'm not saying this, to, throw a bunch of stuff out there, but my sister has been a Silicon Valley person for years. She's written tons of patents for her software that she's written. She worked, before she went to business school, she worked for the Chicago Stock Exchange and wrote a lot of the software that the traders were using, and she patented it. But what she did not have access to do was to take, of course she was working for a business, but let's say she had invented it on her own. She didn't have the access to a market to get her software into the hands of traders. But most people don't have access to that. And with Black people, it's more acute because the kind of wealth that we have, let's say you're a wealthy person, right? Which I happen to know a few people that are wealthy. In fact, I was just talking about this with another friend of mine. This guy that is managing Kanye West, John Monopoly. Have people heard of him, John Monopoly?
No.
No, that's your guy. Go on with the story, man.
He's from Chicago.
Okay, but his name is John Johnson. I grew up with him.
He's a big player. He's a big player.
Okay. And John Johnson, part of his wealth, his dad owned 5 McDonald's. So when his dad died, he inherited, now he has siblings, but he inherited a fair amount of money, thus the moniker Monopoly. The money came from Monopoly money from franchises his dad owned. Now, that's a different kind of wealth, meaning that the father was successful enough to earn a couple of assets and to be able to pass that down. Most Black people are not in that situation. They don't tend to inherit money. That's one of our biggest problems. And even if they do, we're only you know, 1 or 2 generations into inheritance, whereas many other groups that are in this country have been inheriting money for multiple generations, 4 or 5 generations. Now,
can I say this?
Yes, sir.
Can I say this?
Man, Brand, I want to hear the wisdom of Philip. Let the man finish.
All I was going to say is even John has limited access to borrow. Even though this guy inherited a fair amount of money, that's not the kind of money that you scale patents with, that you scale a business that hustle smart, invest in. That you know, are my friend's invention. That you have money, but you're not. We're talking about someone that invests millions and millions of dollars in something where they could lose all of it. Black people, unfortunately, we have not built the infrastructure, particularly, and this is what makes Dynast's channel so important, with the African countries to try to get some state support behind our inventions. But presently, we do not have that. As a contrast, the Chinese, and I use them as an example because it's relevant, the Chinese, if you are from Hong Kong or you are from Taiwan and you have an invention and you go back to Hong Kong or you go back to Taiwan or even now mainland China, you can get bankrolled depending on what it is. We don't have that. We need it, but we don't have it. And it's not going to happen, you know, from the U.S. government, because we're not at a wealth level where we have access to those rooms. And I know it because I've been in those rooms, and there are very few Black people there. And the few Black people that are there are really tied up to white money. That's the reality. It's not independent Black money. It's, you know, like, and who am I talking about there? I'm talking about the Robert Smiths of the world, the Don Peebles of the world. Their money is tied up in white money. It's not tied up in Black money. They are not independent. And so depending on what the what's this guy's name? John Rogers of the world, you know, where they're making money from their investment company through managing pension funds and things like that. He's a very wealthy guy. But his money is tied up in white money. And, you know,
but isn't that every billionaire and billionaire though? Isn't that every billionaire though tied up in white money?
No.
Stop. Italians. Wait. Italians.
Jesus Christ, bro.
When they have
Black
money,
people hate themselves.
don't have the same infrastructure. Look, I have a good friend that I went to law school with, who's Italian and French. He does what they call econometrics. He has gone, and I know this because I'm friends with him, he has gone back to Italy and to France to get financing for his businesses. We don't have that. When Dynast goes to Nigeria or Dynast goes to Sierra Leone, so far, they don't have the infrastructure to bankroll an investment. Not yet. That's what we need to build, but we don't have it. But these other groups have it. I just gave you real world examples of people I know and how they do it. And we can pretend that we have it and pretend that, you know, but the results speak for themselves. That's what Brandon was basically saying, was like, look, you know, you guys haven't done any of this.
Philip, the thing is, Black people don't understand that as a group, we have incredibly bad credit, communally speaking. You can't even name 5 Black people that are billionaires who never filed bankruptcy, who never emotionally invested in something or promoted like something that was scammy that ended up costing a lot of people a lot of money. Black people, even at the highest levels, are a very risky investment for people with generational wealth. If you look at like Dynast right now, Dynast has a travel business, a tour business, right? If Dynast was in any other community, if somebody watched Dynast go for years booking trips to Kenya and Nigeria and Sierra Leone successfully, By now, someone, an angel investor or somebody would have contacted Dynast and say, look, bro, I want to put 500,000 to $1 million into your tour business. We want to get you, we want to get you the top of the line, everything. We want to get you all over the internet. We want to get you billboards. We want to make you bigger than we want to make you bigger than Expedia. We want to make you bigger than TripAdvisor. You don't have that type of investment in the Black community because Black people have theoretical knowledge. We are very starved for applicable knowledge, right? So we know how a lot of things work, but we really don't know how to apply that in a way that generates huge sums of not money, but opportunity for our community. I'll give you a prime example. My friend just was the head engineer they just built a Kaiser in Watts, California, right? So I talked to him on the phone and stuff like that. He was like, man, why don't you come up here? I'll give you a job. You could just walk around, follow me around all day, right? I decided to decline. This dude's job is basically to pull blueprints from a computer program, right? Computer generated blueprints. Go to a Mexican construction foreman and say, hey, can you do this? And the foreman, who was Hispanic, says, yes, we can do that, or no, we cannot do that. He's an engineer, but he can't build anything. Literally, he can't. If you could get 100 Black engineers and be like, yo, from top to bottom, I want y'all to build this with y'all own two hands, a skyscraper. They couldn't do it. That's why they need people like Hispanics who have applicable knowledge of building, actually being able to apply their knowledge to making a tangible.
But most Hispanics can't build a
Listen, if you come to California, it's all Hispanics building skyscrapers. Dynast, who's building all these skyscrapers? Dynast,
hold on. You guys stupid, man.
Some skyscrapers.
Dynast, who's building these skyscrapers?
They're union made. Stop it, man.
Dynast,
Brandon, stop, man. Stop.
This is how you know Delroy is just emotional.
Why do you hate yourself so much, Brandon?
Phil,
why do you hate yourself so much?
Skyscrapers.
If I could interject, I could speak on Atlanta and LA because I live in Atlanta. I live here too. And I used to live in LA. The majority of people on these construction sites are now Hispanic. Hispanic are building the skyscrapers in Atlanta.
You gotta pay them cheap.
No, that's not by mistake.
Jamal, now you're doing the goalpost. Now you're doing the goalpost.
These guys,
now you making Brandon point.
Dynast, these guys are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And listen.
I know the talk.
Listen.
A friend of mine's a construction manager.
Guys, a friend of yours is not gonna disprove what we see every day, bro.
I see it too, Brandon. I see it too.
Jobs,
you don't see more than me.
If you go to Africa, there are African people building those skyscrapers in Africa, building those high-rise apartments. Black Americans go to college to gain theoretical knowledge. They come out of college and they run.
What are you talking about? I have friends of construction workers in New York.
I'm telling you the fact.
Black people in New York building skyscrapers, bro. Black people in New York building skyscrapers.
Listen, man.
Los Angeles too long.
The majority of these people building these
skyscrapers, you do not know America more than me. Brandon, you do not know America more than me.
Isn't Atlanta Dynast? Isn't Atlanta Chocolate City? How are the Mexicans building skyscrapers in Chocolate City?
Too bad for them. They don't want to.
No, dude, you just want to make
the world is bigger than
you know what,
Brandon, you do not know America more than me. Brandon, you do not know America more than me. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Intellectually dishonest. You are intellectually dishonest, Delroy.
Brandon. Believe me when I tell you, you do not know America more than me.
Because you don't tell the truth.
You do not know America more than me. Brandon, you do not know America more than me.
Hold on, let's pass to Philip.
Okay, you do not.
Delroy, let's pass to Philip. Philip is the voice of reason.
No, that ain't even Delroy. That was Jamal. Jamal sounded crazy. Jamal sounded crazy too.
Okay, let's pass to Philip. Go ahead, Philip.
Man, you guys hate black people, man. I don't understand you guys, bro.
Wait. We have the potential in this conversation to change this whole thing. The problem is that we have to admit that we have a problem. And part of that is not saying that we haven't achieved tremendous gains in the 70 years that we have been integrated into the economy in a real way. We've made tremendous gains, but the reality of it is that we need to make more tremendous gains, and we need to work with nation states to circulate our money. The problem that we have is we wind up fighting over this and that, and then it's not just true in the diaspora, it's true on the continent as well. And getting lost in the minutia rather than the basic stuff, which is most people get rich with government contracts. This is the pure truth of wealth. Almost every billionaire that you know, the main way that they got wealthy was government contracts.
Yep.
In the United
States. Good point, Phil. Hey, Phil, that's a good point. Because if you go to New York City, JFK Airport, which is being built by a black woman, all right?
Black woman.
McKesson.
LaGuardia too.
Woman
LaGuardia
in New York
too.
City, right? A black a black woman, right? Come on, Brandon. So you can't tell me
hold on, Jamal. You said it's being built or it's being remodeled?
Hold on. This is one of the biggest infrastructure, and this is what black people don't know. Like
it's being built by Mexicans.
Hold on. Brandon probably never picked up a tool.
It's being built by Mexicans.
Listen. And she's building one of the biggest infrastructure projects that's
going on. She's not building anything.
Right? She's not building anything, bro.
Stop.
The Hispanics are building it.
That's her project.
She's pulling blueprints.
Her name is all on it.
She is pulling blueprints.
Stop it.
Listen,
Brandon,
emotional guy.
Brandon, you shut up now, Brandon. Brandon, shut up.
Come on, stop
it,
Brandon.
She is pulling blueprints off of a computer-generated program, taking it to a Hispanic foreman, saying, "Hey, Juan, can you build this?" And he's saying, "Yeah or no."
Brandon, one of the biggest construction company in Georgia is black-owned. Matter of fact, two of them.
Delroy, let me tell you something, Delroy. Let me educate you.
You can't educate me, bro. You have no knowledge.
The biggest trick that the white man pulled on the black man is he convinced the black man that he no longer needed to use his hands to make money and to be productive. Black people left. Listen, every job Hispanics are doing now, black people had a monopoly on these jobs up until the 70s.
Most of the jobs are trying to do is picking cotton.
Let me finish. Once we decided that learning how to do something in our mind was more important than learning how to do it with our hands, that's when we started losing. Most black men don't even know how to swing a hammer effectively in the United States.
Speak for yourself.
No, I'm speaking for most of us because most of us don't know. If we did, why do we gotta hire Hispanics to build our homes? Dynast, average black man in America right now.
Let Philip respond because Philip is the balanced voice of reason.
Be honest about this, which is you both are
Good
right.
Lord, man.
You're both right for different reasons. The reality of it is that the trade unions actively blackballed Black Americans out of those unions. That doesn't mean that we didn't participate, but we don't participate intergenerationally the way that other groups do. That's part of it. Another part of it is the thing that I started, which is access to government contracts. That very often when a Black company can get a government contract and keep that contract, they do well. The problem is that, number one, we don't tend to focus on that and we don't tend to apply, so we're not in the space. And number two is that even if we did, you need a certain amount of bonding and capitalization of your company to be able to do it, and many Black companies are not at that level. And so it's, yeah.
I want to ask Dynast.
Phil, go ahead, finish. Phil, let Phil finish first.
So
I got past the Abzad.
We don't need to beat each other up about this. What we need to do is to.
We can't help it, Philip. We can't help but beat up each other.
But we got to stop.
DNA.
We got to stop, and you know, I assume part of why Dynast had me come back on here was because I'm from Chicago originally. And, you know, the people in Chicago are confused in a certain kind of way as to what's happening to them. Black Chicago was one of the big epicenters of Black business and commerce in the country. And now they're seeing their position marginalized, and they can't figure out how it happened. And it's a process. The backbone of Black Chicago was factory work. There are a ton of factories that surround the Chicagoland area. And when those factories went offshore, so did the Black economic foothold. And from that, you know, a lot of our people are still in what they call unskilled labor jobs. And so it's easy to replace unskilled labor with immigrants because they just need a strong back and the willingness to work for a low wage.
You just no, Philip. They just need the willingness to work. We have the false idea that immigrants are somehow getting paid little money. Come to California. There's dudes with no papers getting paid just the same as someone who's legally here. Black people do not want to work those jobs. Philip, you know it.
California.
If all the immigrants left Chicago today, let me just say this.
Wait, we can't generalize for the whole country. There are
Philip,
certain things.
Thank you, Phil.
Philip, if all the immigrants left Chicago today, are Black people gonna say, let me leave working at Lou Malnati's, let me leave working at Trump Hotel to go pick up those construction jobs? Hell no. They're gonna say, it's too cold to be building in this weather. You know that, Philip. Black people want to do jobs where they do very little work and they get paid a lot of money. That's our way. That's our way. We want to go. Why do you think we love doing security?
Hey,
What you're
come on,
talking
stop
about
it, stop it, stop
is
it,
the
Brandon.
addiction to fast money. And I think that there is
Ab, I'm gonna pass to you shortly, Ab. Let Philip finish, Ab.
Yeah, I'm gonna log off because I actually was
Phil, you're in California like me, Phil.
Let me make
Phil, you're in California like me. What's the race of most of the security guards in California, Phil? When you go somewhere and you see security guards, what are they primarily there? What's primarily their race?
They're either Black or they're Latino.
Right, but mostly you see Black people being security guards. That's not a coincidence. Black people want to work jobs where you don't got to do much and still get paid. It ain't nothing wrong with saying that, but let's just be real about who our people are right now at this point.
You know as well as I do that there are a lot of Nigerian companies that own these security companies and they hire us, whereas some of these other companies do not. Right?
That's true. That's true, but you know what? I ain't gonna say no. I'm gonna let it go to Ab Zell before I say something about that. But we're gonna come back to that point though, Philip. Don't go nowhere. Let Ab Zell talk, and we're gonna come back to that point right there, bro. Don't go nowhere, Philip.
Go ahead, Ab.
Hello.
Ab.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you, bro.
Hey, how are you doing, guys?
We doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Good. Go ahead.
Brandon, how are you doing? Long time. You don't remember Gods?
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, it's me, Gods.
Come on with it, bro.
Gods Klanov. Hey, guys, let me tell you, Brandon, it don't have to be doing only hard work and earn a lot of money. You can do little work and earn a lot of money. It means the world is going digital. If you master the digitalization computer, you can earn a lot of money. Sorry for because I speak different languages, even Spanish. So after Corona, I don't spend a lot of time in the office anymore. So, for example, me, I have created something. I won't mention the company. They are using it right now. It's on their website. I've created it. I don't get paid a lot of money for it. So we do things and other people use it because we don't owe the company. We Black people don't owe the company. If it was a Black company, it would be there for Black people to use. So we have to use our people who knows and who can, create or invent something. There are many outside there, but they invent for who? For whites.
Where you located at, Abzel? Where you located at?
Right now,
yes, sir.
I'm on the same place. I was in Dynasty's show long time ago. I was in Wadamaya. I was in Tigris, African Tigris, together with Brandon under the name Guts Klanoff. I'm on the same place. So after one of the
what
shows,
place is that?
I don't want to mention it because
okay, gotcha.
Show, you know what I got in my house? A bomb.
Dynas, can I ask you a question?
I just wanted to know the country, man. That's it. I didn't want to know your address. I'm sorry.
Dynas, can I ask you a quick question, please?
New York.
Go ahead.
Dynas, I love you as an example. You were in sales for many, many years, Dynas. A job where as much effort as you put in, that was going to determine how much you got out of the job. How many Black people did you see get into your company or to any of your sales company in a couple of weeks of doing it? They're like, man, this ain't for me. And they just quit. And you looked at them like, well, bro, you got to invest more into it to get what you want.
It depends on the field and what the job was. In corporate America, they didn't quit. In like 100, here we go, 100% commission jobs, I would say across the board, Black, white, Asian, Latino, they will quit. But as far as just regular corporate America sales jobs, they weren't quitting at all. They would get fired, but they wouldn't quit. But that's across the board.
Because they got the safety net. They like, no matter how little effort I put in, I'm still gonna get a paycheck. But
yeah,
when you
Brandon, that's not limited to just Black people. That was Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. That was everybody.
We're talking about Black people in the sense of, because Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, you see those other groups doing other things. Like Asians is running businesses, Mexicans is working construction jobs and all that stuff. You see Black people, mostly what we're doing right now, two things: construction and security. Now not construction, truck driving and security. Black people, we like to drive trucks. That's fine. That's a good job. Honest work. But beyond that, most of us are just doing security. Most of us are going to college, getting degrees and stuff that pay low, like social worker and stuff like that. Like, you guys look at me like I'm making this stuff up. I'm not saying that the collective consciousness can't be, lifted up. All I'm saying is at this point, Black people are trying to go to work, do as little work as possible, and get a decent check. And some of us achieve that goal, and others of us don't. Bro, I'm dealing with the Child Protective Services right now, dealing with social workers and all that. Bro, these are some of the most laziest people I've ever encountered, and they're primarily Black females. I'm talking about, I have this ready tomorrow. 3 weeks later, they still ain't done it, and all it involves is making a phone call. Like, this is our mindset, because we left the manual labor jobs to go to college because we were taught, hey, if you go to college, you don't got to do that much hard work and you're still going to make more money. Now that that's not necessarily proving to be true, now we're having buyer's remorse, but we don't want to go back to the fields as we see them, even though we know that trades are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not making these stats up. I'm not making these facts up. I've been here 40 years. I've seen it. Go talk to a Black man about becoming a plumber. He's probably going to laugh at you at first until you tell him how much a plumber makes, and then he might do it or he might not. But let's be real. We all think we're going to hit it big on some, hustle or lottery ticket or something, and is biting us in the ass. The mess can just show up, swing the hammer, get the paycheck.
Can I throw something to what you're saying, Brandon? I think that you made a good point. I want to add something to it, if you don't mind. And that is that part of the issue with us in the trades is that we don't have a circulating economy where the trades would be useful to us. meaning this. If you had a vibrant Black real estate market where Black people were investing and buying homes in mass and rehabbing them and circulating, let's say Africans were coming and they were buying these homes, okay? If you had that, then you would have a lot of demand for people that know how to rehab a home, to do the drywall, the electrician's job, to pour the foundation, etc. But because we don't have that, people don't consider it because there's no market there. And I'm not going to disagree with you that there are some Black people that are lazy, but I want to caveat that by saying we tend to go into things that we see visually that are successful. And I'm basing
easy. And easy.
Well, arguably easy, but I listen, if it were hard, but Black people knew I will have a job as long as I want it, being an electrician in my community, they would do it. The issue is that that doesn't exist, and there isn't a consistent market for them to do that, so they don't want to do the work. Look, there are tons, unfortunately, of Black Ivy League and top college and graduate school people who are unemployed. Why? Because when they graduate, there is no Black economy for them to be fed into. There are no Black multinational companies. It doesn't exist. There are some, and if you're lucky, maybe you can go work for them. But it's a very small number. And so a lot of these top Black grads have nowhere to go other than to compete against the other ethnic groups to try to work for companies not owned by Black people. And in most
But let's
cases,
go back to this point though, Philip. Let's go back to this point about the security jobs and the people that own the security jobs with the Haitians and the Nigerians that own this, because they're big in New Jersey. They are big in New Jersey. So this is my point. This is my point to that, is that you have these type of jobs that are big and they coming down here too. They have a branch down here they call Secure My Truck, Secure My Property. They're coming down here too. So that's the part that I don't understand, Mr. Phillip, about Black people caping for Latinos to come based on a presidential candidate they like. But then we stand up here with these different sector of Black people complaining about, Haitians and Jamaican, Tether. We got all these names for the people that we can come together with, but for the people that don't fuck with us at all, we calling them a coalition. You don't think that's asinine on its face, Mr. Phillips?
Well, of course it doesn't make sense not to advocate for Black immigration, but of course, I mean, that's a common sense thing there. The issue
you would think.
But here's the thing is that our people, unfortunately, get a lot of misinformation about immigration and about the possibilities of it or not, right? Here's the issue. There are quotas set for various regions of the world who can come into the United States and who can't.
That is true.
And depending on how you look at, let me go back a step further. The law of the land prior to 1965 and the 1965 Immigration Act was that the United States demographics could not be shifted by immigration. So if the country was 70% white, 10% Black, 20% a mixture of various small groups, that had to remain in place. You could not make it 15% Black by adding Black immigration. The Black demographics had to remain at 10%, unless it was through natural birth. So that had been the trend all the way up into the 1965 Immigration Act. And then after that act, then all of these other groups were able to come. This is when the Asians came. This is when the Africans came. If you talk to them, almost all of them came post 1965. So our whole frame of reference about immigration is twisted because we were the primary minority for most of the growth of the country until 1960. And so what you've got now is some people who view themselves as representative of some sort of firewall against immigration as a Black person, right? And the reality of it is that that is not necessarily to your advantage. What is to your advantage is that if you start a business and the Haitians come and they can work for you, or the Haitians come and they start a business and you can work for them, that's a win for us. But we don't see it that way because unless you've exposed yourself to see these Black companies and the kind of cross-pollination of the diaspora with new arrivals, then you don't believe that that's possible. And I guess that's where I was trying to take it, was to say, like, look,
But Phil,
yes, sir.
But Phil, I have to push back on you because Black people will sit up and talk about how immigrants are negatively affecting them, but then turn around and vote 87% for the guy who's telling them to their face. I don't agree with you on Black people are misinformed. Joe Biden stood on stage and was like, I'm going to legalize millions of immigrants. He told them, come here. I want them to come. Barack Obama got on stage and told Black people the dangers and the negative impact that illegal immigration has on the Black community. We're not misinformed, Philip. We literally have a self-destructive mindset. And when I call it out, we sit up and say, oh, that's not fair. It's because racism. But the reality is Black people, we have to be able to play the victim. And if we have to destroy ourselves to retain the victim card, we will do that. And there's an assertion I made on my channel where I said Black people play dumb politically so that they can go and continue to beg and ask for handouts from other groups. We know the information. We're not dumb, but we know if we show any type of political intelligence, the handouts and the entitlements stop. If we show intelligence on day one, the handouts stop on day two. I'll give you a prime example. Once Black people banded together to ask Joe Biden to write the 94 crime bill and get it signed into law, do you notice that immediately after that, Bill Clinton got elected and started dialing back the amount of entitlement programs Black people were able to receive? We learned from those types of instances. Now Black people in the Black misleadership class, they know the strategy. Play ignorant, act like you dumber than you dumb as a doorknob, and that will give you the positioning you need to make the government and the world sympathize with you, and they'll just start giving you handouts. But the reality is they're letting millions of immigrants in here because Black people have proved themselves to be ultimately useless in America. We got a bunch of Black people. Wait a minute. We got a bunch of Black people who know better, like Delroy. Delroy knows it takes hard work and determination to get whatever you want. You got to work for what you want. But he'll sit up here while his son's successful. He's successful while they worked for everything they got and tell the next Black person, feed them poison. Oh no, it's somebody else's fault why you in this position and there's this thing orchestrated against you. If there's so much against you, how the hell is this dude's son and daughter so successful? I just refuse to do that. My daughter is highly intelligent. She's gonna be successful. Why? Because she works hard for what she wants. Dynast, I sent you the videos of my daughter hitting that volleyball, right? Yeah. Does it look like my daughter's lazy and doesn't work hard?
No.
And guess what? She's going to take that hard work and that mindset to whatever she gets into, and she's going to be a success. Why would I lie to my people and say you can't do nothing? Because the white man is all set it against you. You guys don't understand that these people are traitors to their race. For somebody to gain success and then tell you how you can't do it when you and that person got the same odds, you got the same shared experience, all that stuff, man, those are the people who truly hate themselves. Those are the people who truly hate our people. I'm going to tell you, you can do anything you want to do if you're willing to do the work. And that is the truth.
Hey, Brandon, hold on for a second, Philip, before you go. Hold on, let me say this one thing, Philip. Let me simplify it real quick. Black people are, it's like to be the victim and have buyer's remorse is a skill set for us. You get what I'm saying? Like Dynas played a video. Dynas, you're gonna be shocked. Your video is gonna come to full circle. Dynas was playing a video, Mr. Phillip, that the Mexican guy was telling black people to go home. It's over with for you. And the black lady was like, "We help y'all. We fought for y'all. We the one that made it easy for you to get here." Whose fault is that? Philip, if you put your hands and feet down for me to step above you and I don't help you back up, you're the fool. You're the fool, Mr. Phillip. If you're gonna lay down, and prop up every race or every other ethnicity group, and they don't turn around and help you, and you continuously do it.
Okay, I mean, look, my point, while I understand the point that you just made and the point that Brandon just made, my point is this. It's about money and mindset, which I agree with you. You guys are both talking about this is a mindset problem. What I would say is this, and maybe this is controversial. I don't think it is. We're at most 16% of the population. We, as a group, do not push the agenda of what happens in this country. On some level, culturally, we have an influence, but we're not the money behind it. I would say the mindset problem is this. If we had the mindset of like, you know what I'm going to do? I have a real estate company, and I am going to build low-cost housing to let these migrants live in my housing that I built, right? Then maybe I can get a government contract or Section 8 or whatever program they create for them for me to develop my construction company. Because I do not control who the federal government and its administration determine are going to come in. I don't control that. But what I do control is, am I in a position to take advantage of it financially, since I don't control that policy? There are tons of things across the board where we have things to be able to make money in our own neighborhood or in our own community, let me say, and we don't take advantage of it. Let me give you another example. Every African group and Black Americans shops somewhere else if they don't shop with the Mzungus. Meaning, you've got a Malian grocery store, you've got a Gambian grocery store, you've got a Nigerian grocery store. Each one of our ethnic Black groups has their own foods that they eat and shop amongst themselves. What if we took the mindset of like, hey, you know what? I want our people to eat more of the West African food so that we all can shop in the same place. Well, if we shop in the same place and eat many of the same foods, first of all, our diet would be healthier. But second is that now you've got a franchise that's ethnically distinctive to us. But we don't have that frame. We have the frame of, well, I got to fight in on the margins of whatever the Mzungus have built. And that is a losing strategy because we can't out-Mzungu the Mzungus. We can only out-African them, meaning to have our own distinct markets. But we don't try to do that. We've got that broken pieces thing. Like, for example, with real estate. If our communities were areas where people really liked living and they had good schools, don't you know that the Africans would want to come and live in those communities and be around other Africans and Black Americans?
True.
But we don't think that way. We think, well, you know, they're coming to take what's ours and they're them and we're us, and we don't see the same. As opposed to saying, how do we create a market within ourselves to make money amongst ourselves? Because we are not going to be able to turn on and off the faucet of who comes. Do you see what I'm saying? We have the pieces to create money amongst ourselves, but because our mindset is trying to hang on to something that doesn't exist anymore, rather than to look at where is the opportunity.
Philip, we are militant integrationists, Philip. When Black people feel threatened, we start destroying stuff. When we thought the police was mistreating us, we had the summer of love, burning stuff down, tearing stuff up. The fact that Black people haven't started rioting and tearing this bitch up, that tells you we don't feel threatened by no immigrant. We want them to come because Black people want to be everything but Black. We look at the average Black man looking at immigrants coming in saying, ooh, man, maybe I could get me a Mexican wife and make babies with her or whatever like that. When Black people feel threatened, we resort to destruction. When Black people aren't destroying something, I know that we don't feel threatened, but we'll sit up and bellyache and cry and complain. But this is all a grift. Even these Black women speaking up about the immigrants. Black people don't care that immigrants are displacing them in Chicago. Black people want to try to finagle a handout off of that. If the government said, all right, if y'all go home peacefully, we give all y'all $5,000, you wouldn't see a Black person in a single city council meeting. We just trying to get a freebie out of the situation. And the biggest thing that bothers us is the $10,000 checks that they getting, because we want a $10,000 check. Black people aren't thinking about the long term in any of this. Black people are thinking about right now. We are literally eating for today. What does it say? You eat for your belly or whatever, where you just literally trying to get immediate instant gratification. That's all we're about. We don't give a damn about the implications this stuff will have on our children in 30 years.
Brandon, here's the thing, brother, and I understand what you're saying, and I'm not going to tell you that that doesn't exist. I'm just going to say I don't think that's the majority of Black people. I think that a lot of Black people do want to do better, but they don't see anything in front of them how to do it, and it unfortunately is not encouraged. The things that I just said, like the real estate thing. Look, it is a known fact that the real estate market is driven by white demand. That's not something that's a mystery. It's been that way since the red line maps.
Yeah, they're the biggest house buyers. You're right.
Well, I know this is a fact because the red line maps basically created a pegging of risk to Blackness. So if I own the asset, it's worth less than if a white person owns the exact same asset.
True.
Okay, but we could reverse that if we actually were building our neighborhoods to be good places that Africans and other Black diaspora want to live.
Philip, can I ask you a question? But
yes,
my phone died.
Yes.
Thank God.
So I just got back on.
Good. You don't calm down a little bit?
No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. But
appreciate that.
I'm upset. I'm upset, but I'm good.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. We were talking about the money. You said Black people have no money, and you're talking about Black people need to build more businesses and work within each other. I'm gonna ask you two questions. Just answer one at a time.
I didn't say they had no money. I said that there are different types of money that black
Yeah,
people
different
have.
types of money. That's what I mean. I understand that. So
Yes, sir.
so what you're saying that we don't have enough money. There's no black person that have enough money to do and then say like a $100 million investment.
There's
No,
plenty.
I said that we don't have the infrastructure financially where you can invest in those things, and that the people that do have it very often are tied into white money, not into black independent money. That's what I
Okay,
said.
they're tying to white money. So they couldn't take some of the tied up white money and invest, if that's what you're saying.
They
So
don't want to do it.
I am saying, hold on. I am saying specifically, if you want to take big name people, Robert Smith, right, the guy that gave the donation of paying
or
off all
Byron
the debt.
Allen, or Byron Allen.
Or Byron Allen. But let me do Robert Smith, because Robert Smith had worked at Goldman Sachs, I want to say, and that he basically benefited through a series of transactions of people that mysteriously died and other things to become wealthy. It is now speculated that he's a federal informant. Now, he's still rich, but that guy is not going to invest in Hustle Smart's trucking company. The gap of access between Hustle Smart and Robert Smith is night and day. And now that he's, a federal informant, possibly, that, you saw him with Earn Your Leisure and this kind of thing. And we don't really know what he's for. I don't know if he is a black action person, or if he is, trying to get people caught up in federal charges. I don't know. But that's just one example. Let's take the example of Byron Allen. Byron Allen has purchased tons of television stations all across the country, and he threatened to sue based on various civil rights laws to get access to buy those channels. The other side of that is that Byron Allen, unfortunately, doesn't tend to hire a lot of black people.
At all.
And so while he himself has made gains, black people, as a result of his gains, have not necessarily benefited in the way that you would think.
All right, thank you. Let me just finish.
But that doesn't mean that they don't exist.
You said all my points. I agree with you.
Phil, but I said this earlier, Phil. This is why I said that black people have bad credit collectively, because the ones of us who do have money, we do shit like what Byron Allen does. Go buy a company. Everyone knows television is failing, okay? He does that so that he can then claim racism and sue these big wealthy media companies. And what that does is make those people with all that big money very, very skeptical and hesitant to invest or take a risk on another black person. But I'm telling you, black people,
Brandon, I didn't finish
mindset,
I didn't finish my question.
Black people's victim mindset is literally making it impossible for us to get anything in America, because nobody is going to invest in or hire somebody who they think might ruin their business, their corporation, their media group, trying to play the race card with frivolous lawsuits. Black people are going to have to stop playing the damn victim if they want anybody in this country to take them serious when it comes to investment. Phil, you know that. Would you sell anything to Byron Allen? Would you sell anything to Byron Allen?
Wait. Hold on, Brandon. Let me respond to what you're saying.
Phil.
And then I'll go back to you, Delroy. Just give me one thing on what Brandon is saying. Brandon, the issue is leverage. Leverage to make things happen. Let me just tell you something, and I know you will agree with this. These Chinese immigrants that are coming in and people are fear-mongering and stuff, I guarantee you that they will have a job within a month of being in the United States in their community. I guarantee you that. Because the way that their community works, that they only hire their own people. It's rare, although you do see some Latinos that work in Chinese restaurants, but it's rare that you see anyone but Chinese amongst their businesses. Black businesses struggle with this. You know, and what I would say to you is part of the issue of the victim mindset is you need to have economic leverage to make people do business with you. And right now we don't have that. And because we don't have it, then we have our hand out begging for stuff with no leverage.
Phil, it's not even leverage, Phil. We've burned too many bridges. You have multi-millionaires. Wait, let me say this, Phil. Phil. You have multi-millionaires who will get where a company has invested millions and millions of dollars with them, and these dudes will turn around and try to sue the damn company talking about racism and discrimination. Nobody is going to take that risk, Phil. Look, we have a business, right? We got a family business. Yep. When you go work with black folks, there is a real chance that those people will try to manipulate you and threaten you. They'll call OSHA on you to try to get a quick payday. In the world, listen, America is catching on to black people's grifting. Everybody is somehow a victim. You got people who are multimillionaires out here hollering victim after they done made millions with a company and then say they discriminate against me racially. That's called burning a bridge, because once that person is done suing that company will be very hesitant to let another black person get into that position again. And they're not going to say it publicly, but you know they're thinking it behind closed doors.
Brandon, I'm not let me talk. I'm going to come right to you. Let me just say this to Brandon so we can cap this. Brandon, the power to fix that is within our own hands. And it starts with a family, with a mother and a father that teach their children, boy and girl, how to be responsible members of a business, hopefully owned by that family.
I agree with you 1,000%.
I knew you would, because that's the actual fact. Part of the reason why you have this attitude is because we lost a generation or two or three of fathers being in these households to raise responsible young men and young women to know how to operate in a business. And what you're saying is true. I have a lot of friends who have black businesses, and one of the biggest problems that they have is having people that show up to their job ready to work and to serve that business. I don't want to belittle our people, but we have to call a spade, and that is one area where we need to improve, but it's in our hands. We have to have real viable families, be a good employee. We don't presently have that. And we also need good black families, being a mother and a father, that train their children how to run a business responsibly and not have, these homie hookup type businesses that we got to stop that. Delroy, you waited patiently. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I was saying, you kind of made my point. There's plenty of black people that have money, but what do they do with the money? Not everybody have the mindset, okay, I'm going to invest in X, Y, and Z company or invention. But there's plenty of black people that have money, right? Now, as far as the growing, starting business and growing this business, we had a discussion like this, sort of like this before. And I said, if black people want anything done, right, they're going to have to fight like hell to get it, because you're going to have to do it 2, 3, 4, and 5 times more, better, in order to succeed. All right. Now, when was it that were there a time in this country when black people tried and started their own towns, cities, companies, and so forth? And what happened to them?
We had 100 years of rioting.
Look at what Don Lemon did to Elon Musk. What happened to that?
What are you talking about?
The fact that a guy who got fired by a bunch of white liberals got an opportunity from another white guy and he screwed him over and tried to set him up. That's what black people do. Even people who try to help us, who take a chance on us, we can't help it. We always got to be the victim, even if it hurts us and other black people.
But Brandon, what happened to the black people that didn't ask anyone for help, but did everything on their own, but still yet, there it was destroyed?
Black people sold them out. That's what happened to them.
Well,
black people sold them out.
Martin Luther King sold them out.
It's a combination, though, guys. Like one fact doesn't negate the other fact. It is true that there was 100 years of lynching and rioting in the United States, but it's also true that there are some black people who are not responsible members of a business. Both can be true, but here is the point that I want to make back to all of
That's the balance I was looking for from Brandon, but Brandon don't have a balance. Brandon hate all black people, and no black people could do anything for Brandon. Period.
You can't say that. You can't say that somebody. You can't say if somebody hates somebody because they don't agree with you, Delray. That ain't. Listen.
That's what Brandon said. That's what Brandon said.
No. Brandon ain't never. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I will stand up for right or wrong, no matter who I'm friends with. Brandon ain't never said that he hates black people. What I'm saying is,
you don't have to spell it out.
Hold on for a second,
Brandon don't agree with nothing that black people do. Nothing at all.
It doesn't matter. If I sit up here and don't agree with, I disagree. Delray, let me tell you something. People have over time loved to like to love Hustle Smart. In the beginning, people said the same thing about me. They were saying that I hate black people. I hate all black women. You know what I'm saying? And now over time, when people don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, they can hear me and say, okay, I don't like how he talks. But now they start hearing what I'm saying. See, at the time now, you're just hearing because Brandon ain't saying nothing. He ain't saying nothing positive about black people right now. So then you're equating that into he hate all black people. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is, listen, Delray, all I'm saying is that is wrong. It'll be the same equivalent if you saying something negative about somebody at a period of time and they come back and say, well, he hate them all. It doesn't mean you hate them all. All I'm saying is this: if Brandon says that, then he said that. But you can't say that he hate them all just because he's not saying nothing positive about them.
Can you give me a chance to Hustle Smart? Can you let me say it? Delray, let me say it. Delray, let me say it so everybody can hear. Hebrews 12:6. Those whom he loves, he chastises. I love black people enough to give them correction and discipline their ears if they willing to listen. Just like I love my daughter to give her correction and discipline when it's time to, and I give her love when it's time to. Dynast, every time I come on your channel, do I not contribute to your channel?
You contribute.
If I hated black people, I wouldn't do that. My brother was about to leave Africa. I got a bunch of people to contribute to his channel and join the membership. I love black people, but that doesn't mean I have to accept black ignorance and degeneracy and self-destructive actions.
Brandon, you have no balance. That's what I'm saying.
We agree.
You have no balance.
We just are two sides of the same coin, both telling a truth. That we agree. The problem is whether I'm listening to the African channels or the diaspora channels, is that we're not taking advantage of the markets that we have within us.
At all.
And because we don't listen, let me say this and be very clear about it. We are the only group on earth that doesn't need any other group of people to succeed. We are the only group on earth that doesn't need any other group for us to succeed. If, and this is an impossible hypothetical, but just to make my point, Africa does not need any of the other continents to survive and thrive.
Exactly.
We don't need them. And now with the unfortunate of slavery and the diaspora in the Americas, we really don't need them. We have enough within ourselves if we circulated and created an economy within ourselves to do just fine without them. We don't need them. But we have
Brandon don't believe that.
Don't nobody gotta stay. Listen. Don't nobody Listen, don't nobody got to stay in an abusive relationship with their own race. If any of our daughters was in an abusive relationship, we would tell her, look, you might love him, but you need to be honest and leave his ass if he's abusing you. I'm saying the same thing to my people, black people. I'm saying like this, either we're going to correct what we're doing or we're going to watch the best of us abandon our group because we refuse to make simple corrections. You guys could say what you want. Delroy, you're okay with it because your family is successful. You sit up and say, my kids gonna work hard for what they want. But you know, all you other black people, y'all could sit up and blame the white man or whatever else. You are being disingenuous, sir.
I'm not
What
blaming
you
the
say,
white man,
what you're
bro.
selling us
I'm
ain't
not
good
blaming the
enough for
white man.
your own.
I'm not blaming the white man, Brandon.
Wait a minute. You guys are both
Okay.
saying the same thing. You're saying, look, we have to do better, but we do have some people that are succeeding. And it's just in what you're focused on.
It's the focus is the streamlined thought process is off, Philip. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, look, because, you know, first of all, I stayed way longer than I intended, but I wanted to try to hear everybody and to look, Black Chicago, because that's where Dinah started the channel. Black Chicago, when I was a kid, and you know, I don't want to date myself, but I grew up in the 70s. There were black businesses. There was, remember Ebony magazine? That was a black Chicago business. Jet magazine, that's a black Chicago business. We had Johnson & Johnson hair care products, including Soft Sheen, all of this stuff. Listen, it was a tremendous time, but what happened to those businesses? Ebony magazine is now bankrupt. And I had a friend when I started out my legal career. There was a black female attorney that I worked with, and she went over to work at Ebony Jet. And her name was Celeste. And Celeste told me that John Johnson.
I don't like the way you just said her name, Philip. Sound like there was a little love in your Celeste.
No. I was like, what was that girl's name? But Celeste, you know, come on, bro. Celeste told me that they refused to upgrade the computers and software and all this kind of stuff. And so basically, you know, that they had gotten in a place where they were making a lot of money, but it wasn't going back into the business.
They got complacent.
And that goes into, you know, like black business ethics and black business standards and conduct. That there are things that we need to do and should be focused on that, rather than on, you know, whether the federal government is going to decide whether Venezuelans or whomever are going to come across the border. We don't control federal policy, guys. We do control, however, whether we have businesses that are ready and available to make money with these people. And we're not focused on it. Instead, we're focused on, well, you know, you're taking my low skill job, rather than I have a business that will put you to work for you to make money so we can scale. And that's completely within our control. And we're not focused on that. We're focused on everything but it. And
hey, Philip.
Yes.
Philip, hold on. Before you make this last point, let me help him understand this about the money thing, because I think he kept thinking that black people don't have money. Let's just say me, you, we both in transportation, and 4 other truck drivers, Philip. I mean, damn it, he dropped off. Go ahead, Philip. He dropped off, so go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you've talked about it at length about the problems we have. You see the money right in front.
I see the money. That's Philip. I'm sorry. I see the money, and I'm saying if a person like me, Philip, if a person like me can go get that money, and I know that I got a good talk game, but I got so much stuff against me. When I see black people that don't have none of the stuff against them, none of the stuff that would bar them. None of the obstacles in their way. I actually need. I'm sitting up here waiting for my daughter to turn a certain age so I can push money her way and get her to do different things. Because I can't go in those arenas, Mr. Phillip. But if I got with 6 other truck drivers and all of them have clean records, hell, I can't even go to Canada. I can't even go up there to get the freight up there in Canada in New York, upstate New York, because I'll go to jail. But what I'm saying is, I can't get 6 truck drivers to say, hey man, listen, this is a financial institution. All of us put in $1,000 a month. You get what I'm saying? And then we make a investment together. It's 6 of us, so it's 6 boards. It's 6 people, 6 commissioners that's over everything, and we make a decision on the investment. Anybody know somebody or got somebody coming, we can make that investment, and we only put in $1,000 a month. That means that investment would be low risk on us if we're doing it all together. That's how you gain a financial institution when you don't have your own banks or whatever. You start small, but we can't even do that, Phil. That's the funny part. Hey, do you know that, Philip, after I had that conversation with these brothers, now when they see me, they duck me like they like they don't even see me now, because we have an individual mindset. These brothers like, man, Hustle Smart, you should be glad you making over 200,000 a year. You came from nothing. You've been on the streets. You get what I'm saying? But I'm like, that's not good enough just because I made it. I feel like if I made it, I can help somebody else make it, but I can't do it by myself. So it's black people that's forcing me to be an individualist when I don't want to be. I wanna grow a black entity so we can invest in other people, but you can't get the black people to sit down, doctor up a contract to just get something small together to invest. I don't understand that, Mr. Phillip. Go ahead.
No, you're right. Let me just say this, and I got to get out of here. That you're right, but we have.
Yeah, and then we're to close out too. But go ahead.
Okay, great. That we have to keep talking about these points and stop, as Brandon is saying, to complain about this other stuff. That the bottom line is that you see the opportunity there and you have to keep talking it up. And it's a numbers game, Hustle Smart, that maybe you will run into the amount of black people you need to be able to scale. But that is where the core work needs to be done. Part of why you're running into that problem is because you're not running into other truck drivers that have the mentality to be able to scale and think bigger. And that is a problem that we have with our families, much more than some of these other things we're talking about. That if these people came from families that were promoting what you were trying to do, which is to try to grow black entities and businesses, then they would join. But many of our people have come from a fear, PTSD economic situation. And so the idea of taking any risk about anything is very hard for them to do. I don't hate them for that, but it's a reality, that our people are struggling to take chances and take risks to be able to economically grow. But I feel our energy has to go there and not so much on what white people are or aren't doing.
I agree.
We can't control them. And so the idea that we're going to tell them, no, these people can't come. These people must come. That's who we choose when we don't control it. We don't have the money behind it. We don't listen. What was decided was that they wanted cheaper labor, the elites, and they decided this is where we're going to get it. And black people like it, black people don't like it. It doesn't matter because they're not the ones calling the shots.
Hey, let me make a statement before you close, Diamond. Just one statement. It ain't gonna take but 1 minute. The problem is that we have a lot of black people that we have feel good moments. We have a lot of feel good moments with black people. And just by this conversation is showing me that a lot of people, rather it be by slavery, rather it be by how you was raised up, we have a plateau in our brain where we're just happy going to work, making a certain amount of money. We got enough money to get us through the next week, and we're fine with that. If we're not willing to take a risk, then why would anybody else want to invest in us? That's why I'm saying that we're doomed, black people, because we don't even want to take any risks with each other. We don't even want to invest in each other. Why would a federal government want to take a plan with us? So therefore, y'all don't understand that the black experience is over. The experiment is over with. They are going to the Latinos. Y'all just got to accept it. All of y'all have watched the movie with Benny Siegel. Y'all gonna either get down or lay down. It's Latinos are up next. You can whine and cry. You can even prop them up on a pedestal and tell Latinos that you helped fought for them. The same way FBA try to fight with Haitians and Africans, saying, well, we built this country, we built this, we paved the way. It doesn't matter if a Nigerian can come over here in 2 years, become a surgeon. It doesn't matter if you lay down and he's stepping on your back. The funny part is that you're not humble enough to ask that Nigerian, to ask that Haitian, like, hey, man, you came up, man, can you help me come up? You're too busy talking shit about him, and you too busy caping up a Democratic plantation that's focused on another group of people. Y'all don't understand that. Logic is in the building. We are doomed as a people. You either become an entrepreneur and do for self, or you're going to get ran over. And I give the mic, man. Salute to y'all. Salute to Philip. Salute to Donnie. Everybody in the chat that came in, and I'm out this bitch.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Donnie Tamir, search for Huru. Peace.